Bah, 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 bah. Yo, what's happening? This is highly offensive. Episode 115 or so, I want to say.
Yep.
Around there. Um,
Wait, 100?
Yeah, because remember we had combined with the previous iteration. But yeah, it was happening, folks. Highly offensive. Episode 115. It's been a minute. You know what I mean? So forgive us if we're a little rusty. We gotta try to get back into the swing of things. You know what I'm saying? Let me slide back into character and shit. You know what I'm saying? Jay Kush, y'all niggas know how I get down on this bitch. You know what I mean? I be talking shit. I don't give a fuck, nigga. Fuck your sponsorships. Now I'm playing. I need that bread. Run that check. But, you know what I mean? Like, I'm here with Matt, here with Kay. We got, you know what I mean? The guests all here. You know what I'm saying? It's been a crazy month. I know you guys don't know, but my little brother got married. That shit was dope. Going to his wedding and seeing that happen and come to fruition. Get dressed in a nice tux, yo. Amazon, I'm still waiting for y'all to issue my refund.
Oh,
yeah,
serious?
Yeah, it's supposed to be tomorrow, apparently.
Oh.
But
it's been a minute. Yeah.
Fuck out that shit. They like,
let's make sure this is right before we give him his money back.
Oh yeah, like
not been got my money and I could be ordering up in that shit. Perfume.
Fucking. Yeah, not me. Like, I mean, it's because maybe it was a third party.
You're not an Amazon Prime member, though. So all your benefits have been taken back.
I guess, but yeah, that shit just sucked because like leading up to it, like I remember vividly, like that's when I quit the job at Chili's, and like it sucked because I knew mom was coming, so I was so like money, and then like that shit happened, and like it sucked because like I know the audience doesn't know, but like, it was a bad situation where, you know, I had a server berate me and trying to like get her food ahead of other customers and shit that had been waiting longer. And it was just one of those things where like I just had to walk away before I snapped kind of shit. But it like afterwards I was so mad at myself. Like I was just like, damn man, like you should have just cussed that white bitch out and just like
hit her with the
took the consequences as they came. Like
hilarious.
Yeah, definitely. But it's just like when after the fact you have to think about like the loss of hours, the loss of the income.
More clear,
like
hindsight and shit.
Yeah, it sucks though. Like because then even though it's the other person's fault that like it happened that way, it's still everything falls on you. You know what I'm saying? So like I just had to find a better way to you know, handle that situation. Maybe like I could have done better like with just like handling annoying white bitches. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause there's always a Karen.
Them damn Karens.
Like, so it's just like, I can't like, I'm obviously, I can't smack these hoes, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
you can go to jail as well.
No. I'm not doing all that.
Land of the free and all, you know?
Not too free.
Free to smack a bitch. You go to jail, nigga. Like, you go to jail.
No. And some people need to, because I don't know if you've seen that one dude, that migrant that murdered the chick in the park or some shit like that, and they got his ass like 10 charges. Like they were like counts. It was like 5 counts of the same charge. It was like 5
murdering bitches because you're like, man, I like your workout routine. Let me murder you in the park. Like, what the fuck is wrong with people?
I seen another one, and sorry, I ADHD, so I'm gonna go talk about something else, and then we'll get back to the original thing. But I was seeing a case in TikTok where a girl at a smoke shop got raped. Like fucking, she was I guess closing by herself. Fucking the dude comes in and you see it on camera. Like he gets behind the counter. He's like, he drags her off into like an off screen into like another room, puts like his shirt over her head, like she fought him off with a plunger, and like was able to like call the cops, escape, blah blah blah, and they're like looking for him and shit, and it's just like, yo, like how like sick of a nigga you gotta be to just like
double
not
back
even-
for the double
smoke shop
rape.
girl. Like I'm like,
Yeah, like see, this is why I believe firmly. Like, if you're caught in the act rape, like if you're like without a reasonable doubt, like you definitely raped this person, there's evidence, they should just chop your shit off.
Mm.
They should chop it off.
and
Take it off.
Florida, so like that one cop that loves being on TikTok, he's ready for fucking
I just
to,
feel like
to,
if
to
they,
hang another head on his fucking wall and shit.
I feel like if
So-
they chop dicks off, niggas will stop. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
No, definitely.
people would think twice about doing the rapey
But
rape.
then, like, maybe there'd be like some shit like on Nip Tuck, where like there was like a rapist that got his shit chopped off and then started wearing a strap on and still
I
committed
mean,
the
he
act.
might come back with the
Like,
double.
That's where that's why there's like that.
And there'd be no DNA.
Chemical
There'd be no DNA.
castration.
Oh, that'd be crazy. They'd be like, oh, we
Yeah.
can't find him. Well, he has no DNA. They're like, he's not wearing condoms. What is he doing? Oh, he got his dick chopped off because he got caught raping a bitch, and he came back with a dildo and no condom.
But
So now he's leaving no semen, no evidence. We turned him
niggas is
into a
grimy.
monster.
Like,
Yo, that's
like I said, like, I
crazy.
mean, when you see the video, like it's just like, hey,
People like
yeah,
that,
nah.
I feel like should be isolated.
I feel like they should chop your shit off and put you in a different world.
send them to Rape Mountain or like
is
Rape
going,
Island somewhere.
Niggas is going to Mars
Like-
to be experiments. Elon Musk, we got your we got your efficiency, all right? Take these prisoners, send these niggas to Mars. Let them tell us how to climb it is, how to work out, how to eat, and all of those things. They'd be cheap labor. They're already going
One-way
down.
trip.
One-way trip. Y'all niggas go to Mars. We'll send you with a fucking iPhone,
Go rape them bitches over
some
there. like-
iPads, go have some rape, sex, murder in Mars with the other dudes we sending you over there with. But that's
Yeah.
your first colony. Just send them over there like Australia.
Then they get there and the aliens are like the Don ones.
Yo,
Like,
if they come back on like a double back, like with the aliens, with the extra rape, with the alien rapes.
oh, you thought you was gonna cure us?
Ah man,
Like-
yeah, you thought you were gonna get us to be healed and shit. Now we coming back with the technology.
But,
We just fucking coming in like Harry Potter and just raping bitches and disappearing.
but yeah, like that shit sucked. You know what I'm saying? Like to
Fucking
bring it back to
terrible.
like the original story. You know what I'm saying? Like quitting
the actual
the job.
rapage.
You know what I'm
I thought you- I
saying?
thought
Like,
you-
nah.
Okay.
We got
Did a whole
sidetracked.
bunch of rape
Hence-
jokes.
hence the ADHD. But
Gotcha.
like
Gotcha.
fucking quit the job. You know what I'm saying? Like then
Yeah, that's way off.
I know, but like I was thinking about that. We were talking. I don't know. I'll be just going off sometimes.
Yeah.
Don't be like.
I'm
be
saying,
like.
I'm thinking, I'm trying to find a connection.
It's like, how did we
What
get
you're
to
saying
rape
is that-
and murder?
I'm trying to rewind and like what's going.
we got
Trace
to
steps
murder,
out.
rape, and then we got to
My ADHD. is
migrant,
not-
rape.
I'm trying to make a good show. All right?
Sound like an SVU episode. We went to all the rapes, and then we went back to work. From rapes to work, we're back.
We're back.
Topic.
We're back. I promise. But we'll talk about rape later when we talk
We'll get
about
back
Conor
to
McGregor.
the SVU shit. Yeah,
Yeah. Later. Down the back end of the show. Pause.
No pun intended, no.
but,
all the way in the back where nobody can see. Yeah.
but yeah, like wedding. You know what I'm saying? Like wedding came, moms came. You know what I'm saying? I was so happy to see her because like it had been a couple months. Like I miss my mom's. I'm a mom's boy. I ain't gonna lie. And on top of that, I miss mom's cooking. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just
No, I don't feel like she cooks.
she didn't do too much.
Can't-
But
Oh damn.
Right?
but
She
but I
did the
appreciate what she
no,
did.
Absolutely. But
Like
she did the easy stuff.
Maybe she like now I don't have to cook
arthritis.
like
You know what I'm
that.
saying?
Yeah,
Like
and
so.
I wanted some yeah, I
Me
wanted-
too. But you know what I mean? Like
She's probably like, yeah, we all want things.
Yeah.
And I ain't making
No,
But,
shit. I'm on vacation, goddamn it.
I'm definitely happy and got to see her and like it was good to like chef it up for her like because like how I put it I'm we're so used to like poverty, like especially like if you like know our story from like Puerto Rico, like all the way up here to, like my mom, working at a cake factory, fucking struggling, like not knowing English, having to work for racist people who called her derogatory names, coming home crying, fucking just like to put us through school, fucking put clothes on our fucking backs, fucking all this shit that my mom did just to like get us to where she got us. Like, and it, I wish I could give her so much more and I can't. And it's just like, so the few times that I do get to see her, like, I don't give a fuck. I'll be just wanting to just like ball out on and like do the most, like as much as I can, because it's like, I want her to see what it's like what fucking white people with just money get to experience like on a regular fucking Tuesday. Let me just go to fucking Amish like Springs and go eat some fucking like all you can eat steaks and fucking goddamn all that shit that they had at that motherfucking line. Except that shit was annoying because all them fucking fatties.
People.
Yeah, they must have crossed that capacity of people because.
Oh, I'm
what was the
sure.
capacity? Because it was like 1,000 people there. There had to be like a couple hundred.
And that was just getting tight because like we're sitting there in line and then like for example, like people are like can see that we're in fucking line and instead of getting line behind us, they're trying to like merge in like at the last minute, like on some Florida shit.
Steak line
like
that shit. And I'm like and my son's like, the line's going pretty fast and I'm like, yeah, it would go fast if people stop butting in line. This fucking fat ass bitch. Right in there.
It's like, nigga, that's my
in.
Right? Like, I'm like, y'all in the line isn't that long. Like, me and he would, or he and whatever me were like really right where they were giving out the steak. So she didn't have to wait that long. The fact that they don't give a fuck. They sitting there pushing kids. They don't give a fuck.
No, and like even like I remember when they put some fresh chicken bin. Like there was this fucking dude just hovering over like the bin, just like fucking ready to like. I'm just like, bro, like act like you've eaten before, my nigga. Like
it's so funny because the lady that brought the bin, that nigga was like literally like an inch away from her, man. She had to turn around and be like,
"Can you back up and let me put the chicken down, you fat motherfucker?"
And I'm like, they have no, but it's like these redneck white people. That's a bunch of the people that I see. Or like
the poor whites, like,
poor whites.
That one meal that they go
just hungry on their faces.
Like I've been saving up for 3 months to get in here.
This is why I voted for Trump. For Kamala.
Establishments like this would be shut down under Kamala.
Then raise the prices on the chicken. Like.
This is all that my family can eat for the week.
That's another thing. Talking about that, the election happened also like during that time frame when Mom was here, and I mean like
Kamala got spanked.
Yeah, that was fucking crazy. That was like like in the Rocky movies where you're like you see like Rocky get knocked down, and you're expected to get back up. Like knock out Creed. It just never happened. Like, it was like a 10 count. Like.
Nah, but that shit was rigged. There's no fucking way, man. There's no fucking way.
Oh shit, yo! Like I never seen a presidential race lost so badly.
People are stupid. If anything, we'll find out that Russia did it in like 3 years before he's about to be out, and then nobody's gonna do anything about it. I mean, like,
I don't think it was rigged. I just think Kamala failed in so many levels.
There was some weird coincidences, nigga. Like, how this nigga get a bunch of satellites that like die the day after they communicate. Like the election results, like the backups for the election places were using Starlinks, and then this nigga's satellites start going down. I'm
sure there was like some funky like.
He said he had a secret like code or secret something to
like with the last election. There was some funky shit messing with rigging the machines
Putin
and shit like that.
Shit. He was like, I helped him out. They had fake Russian bots like posted on social accounts.
Misinformation and shit on Facebook.
Nobody said anything. Like, and they had people calling in bomb threats. So like it feels like the shit that happened before is still happened.
Yeah. But then, even like the ballot box is getting blown up. Like I was like, damn, like you whites like really getting brave. Like
Musk paying people to
$1 billion. Like
I still didn't get my $48.
Who wants a Cybertruck?
I still didn't get my $48.
Sign for Trump.
nigga,
like they're talking about they were going to investigate and like possibly like try to bring criminal charges and shit. But it's like the dude now is on Trump's cabinet. Like I don't know if you've seen Matt Gates or whatever, but there was like a whole case that was being opened into him, and then the second that he got named the fucking attorney general, they dropped the fucking case. Then he ended up withdrawing from the position and shit.
It was like an investigation from Senate, and then they dropped the investigation. They were supposed to post it, but they didn't.
You know, it's child sex trafficking. You know what I'm saying? And like, it's like
he had sex with a 17-year-old for sure.
I mean,
they didn't disclose it to the public because they had to stop the investigation.
I've heard the rumors. I don't want to put any allegations. I don't want to put any bodies on him for sure without like having like the factual context.
It's just weird.
Allegedly.
You know what I mean? Like
it's weird, nigga. Because it doesn't make sense.
The whites have power.
Nah,
you know what I'm saying?
The Senate has like, or is it Senate and Congress? Who's in the Congress?
Yeah.
So like, if you were a congressman and you're making $150,000 a year, free healthcare, all types of, you know, transport, perks, office, all this shit, right? You got all this money, got a lot of money, right? And all this power. You're gonna just quit. Yeah. You're gonna just quit 2 days before they finish an investigation on you. Like, why would you quit if you didn't do nothing, nigga? It doesn't make any sense. And then even if you really didn't do nothing and you get picked attorney general, you'd be like, oh, disclose the fucking investigation. I know I didn't do anything. And I'd be like, oh, I don't want to distract from the campaign. Like, do you think Trump would have wanted to pick you? Like, no, he knew what was going on with you. You think he would want you to drop out after he picked you? He just wouldn't pick you.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So that makes me feel like,
I think he's guilty.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
it's just that, like,
the kids say you did it. You quit your expensive job you're getting mad perks on, and you quit being an attorney general for the whole entire United States. Like, that shit is mad suspect, nigga. Niggas are giving you great jobs and you're quitting, and you're like, oh. I
mean, I think that whole thing is a disease that's afflicted our whole government right now. Like, there is a whole bunch of those A-minor, motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers in there.
Kendrick out here exposing niggas.
It's like, it's like when people say, "Oh, Trump's gonna drain the swamp," but it's like, no, he is the swamp too, my nigga. Like, he was in Epstein Island with these motherfuckers. Like, that's what, like, I don't get it, like the delusion of the Trumpers, where like they think, like, I understand the business aspect of it, because, like, for example, right, even with like when the hurricane happened, right, there was the whole Kamala 750 check. You know what I mean? Like, these people were like, I came in here and I said, these people are fucking underwater. You know what I'm saying? Drowned. Seeing all the money that's going to Israel, seeing all the money that's going to Ukraine, seeing all this bullshit. And I know, like, you know, Kamala's just a VP, but her name was attached to that whole thing. And it's like, it's a 750, and then we'll see if you're eligible for all this other shit. Like, nah, like, these people need help. And on top of that, it's election season. So, like, those are the people that voted for Trump. Those are the people that sat there and said, yo, nah, inflation was fucked up. Nah, fucking Trump did the stimulus when COVID happened. Kamala gave us $750 when I lost my. No, I know, because they're not, you know, intelligent enough to read the fine print. You know what I'm saying? But
the stimulus you paid for yourself.
But that's how they see it. You know what I'm saying?
My name on it.
Like,
but Trump does that. They'll take people's credit and then run with it and say it was his.
Well, Trump is good. Like, it's like he's been a marching band, and he's just fucking drumming away, and like his beat is louder, like, and more organized.
I'll pretend to do everything I'm saying.
Like whereas Kamala, like, her shit is so disjointed because it's still attached to a lot of Biden's policies.
What can you do? Like, if you're the VP and you're tied up in this shit? She literally hid in the closet for like 3 years before she even came out to run. Niggas were like, where's Kamala? They couldn't find her before. She was trying to be away from this nigga. Like, then they're like, hey, guess what? Like, that job you were thinking about like a year and a half ago, you know, 2 years into this, yeah, that job just came up. Like, wait a minute, isn't that in like 90 fucking days? 120 days? She had 110 days.
Yeah, it was. It was a short campaign.
110 days. You ran a really bad presidential
I think
and
she
then
was going to lose
Then
anyway.
you ran pretending it was going to be you, and everybody was like, "Oh, with this nigga," because he was. Sorry, edit that out.
Yeah, give me extra workload. Like,
but take that out. But no, again, he was doing crazy shit, and like she had to follow that. Imagine that, like you were say you were on tour, right? And it's like Drake and J. Cole, and then one of them just comes out and it's fucking terrible. Like, but the other one's performing like great. It don't matter now. Like, I'm gonna see with this nigga every day, and then when he jumps off the tour, you're the only one left. You're trying to do your thing, and they're like, "Nah, nigga, like." Y'all done took our money you gave us this horrible show, and that's what I feel like it was. Like, he did not do good, and then he pretended like he was gonna run the show, and they're like, "Well, anybody but Trump, like maybe we could pick this white dude over this crazy white dude because they're both crazy, but at least he's not that crazy." And then he was like, "Peace, bitches. I'm going on retirement. Go ahead, black lady, you got it." It's like,
I get that view, right? But to me, like, it also felt like she did too much pandering to the minorities, like too much culture.
They all pander, nigga.
No, I know. But the problem is, who's the majority? The whites. The whites make up the majority of the population of the United States of America. So if her campaign is based around trying to reach out to the minorities, getting Beyonce and Meg Thee Stallion to go twerk on stage and shit, the poor whites who are sitting there getting their cities looted by immigrants and shit, like in Colorado, fucking Chicago, New York City, all these whites are sitting there looking like, what are you gonna do for us?
Like, that's,
and here's Beyonce twerking. Like, it's
my
just
thing
like,
is like, that's
like,
not why they're poor whites. They're not poor whites because people out here running in the streets, running their shit. That's bullshit. They're poor whites because there's no fucking jobs. And there's no jobs because they lobbied to not give
that to the people
jobs.
that had to move out the apartment complex in Colorado, where they had to shut the whole thing down because the migrants, the MS-13 took over.
This is one very specific. The government has made whole communities move out for eminent domain and taking possession of properties, which I think is way worse than a bunch of Venezuelan niggas running in your apartment complex, kicking you out. And you only live there in that shitty ass community because there's no fucking jobs.
Yeah, but if you're a tax-paying citizen, your taxes are supposed to pay for you to not have these problems.
I don't disagree, but you should also have a better job that you don't have to live in a shithole. Like, that's the real issue. Because if you were living in a nice area, you wouldn't be worried about like that.
Colorado,
kind of
it's not that like. I mean, I'm sure that like these people like were happy where they were living.
It cannot be that nice of an area that the cops won't go there to protect it. You get what I'm saying? It's that kind of community.
After the immigrants took over.
No, nigga, the immigrants can't take over. This is the United States. This is what I'm saying. There's a big gap there that I'm confused about. Where the fuck are the police? And why won't they go there? If it's that bad, they should call in the National Guard, call in the FBI. That doesn't sound right. That sounds like some dramatic bullshit.
I get what you're saying, but the problem is that there was these issues happening,
but this shit
the
happens,
Democrats made it a non-issue. They were saying, no, this isn't real. This isn't a real thing.
You remember New Jack City?
No.
New Jack City with like Wesley Snipes and Ice-T from like the 80s.
I don't remember it now.
So there was a gang in New York running an area, right? Low income, whatever. This is not new. So it's not like, oh, these niggas are coming here, they're immigrants. That shit has been going on forever. Bad Boys, the Haitian Zoes, they had a community. They were selling drugs out of the houses, and they're like knocking on the door. You remember like Eddie Martin Lawrence coming in and shit, and he's pointing the gun, but the niggas like pretty much take over the community. Grand Theft Auto 5, gangs and shit, taking over communities. I'm sorry, San Andreas. This is not like new. Chinatown, gangs.
I have no problems with the immigrants. I've worked with them at fucking in Florida. You know what I'm saying? I tried to hook up with a couple.
No, my problem is not that
what we're talking about is the election, like how people perceive the where the country's going.
It doesn't get there because of a person that's in office
pounded that drum. He's like, yo, we're going to deport these immigrants the fuck out of here.
But they're not.
He's probably not.
The niggas
But
that
the
cause
problem
the
is that
issues
that's
are
what
there
they're
because
hearing,
they've already been doing that for forever before they were president.
But we know that the world, especially media, works in a fear-based way where they give you a propaganda, they make you scared of something, and they go, "Hey, be afraid. Don't go outside because the blacks are robbing people out there. Hey, be afraid because the immigrants are out there doing this and this and this and this." Like, that's the way media has always worked, especially against minorities. So what I'm saying is that if you know this is an issue going into election season, you can't just go, "Oh, it's a non-issue. We're not going to talk about it."
The false premise is that you could actually do something about it. That's what I mean. Like, it's like pointing the camera at the sun and saying, "Oh my God, it's so hot. We're going to die one day. It's going to explode." Like, everybody fucking knows that. It hasn't ever changed. We haven't done anything different. So it's like, no one's done anything different about that. There's always been gangs in impoverished areas, which is the fucking issue. If people had things to do with their life that were better and more constructive citizens, then they wouldn't be living in those types of places or doing those types of things because they have opportunity. People that don't have opportunity tend to commit more crime. That is worldwide the same thing. So, like, if there's a bunch of not opportunity, why are you not asking what the fucking jobs are?
Said, hey, they said we used the FEMA money to give to the immigrants, and then later retracted and said, no, we didn't. Blah 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 blah. FEMA just has all the money in the world to issue.
I think my problem is it's not that they're getting money. Like, it's not that. It's that there's no opportunity for the people to be able to earn money. The fact that they even need money is the issue. We keep going back, pointing at the immigrants. They showed up.
But I'm saying, if it wasn't such a problem, like, for example, like in New York, Mayor Adams had to cut off that program
because they kept busing immigrants to New York from different states. Nigga, like, if someone's sending busloads of fucking people,
New York is fucked up. So if the rent is $4,000, $5,000 a month, groceries cost what they cost. No, you can't have these immigrants in 5-star hotels and you putting food in their mouths. It's an issue. And if a guy comes up and says, hey, and pounds that drum and says, we'll get rid of this issue and we're going to make it like how it used to be when you didn't have these problems, of course they're going to vote for that guy.
Even if you do take those niggas out, I still don't have a good job. It still costs $4,000. It doesn't make it easier. And then when people talk about it like, oh, we can just kick them out, they contribute to Social Security. They contribute to all these programs that we need for social stability. So everything will start to cost more. You kick out immigrants, you don't have cheap produce anymore. So people don't think about the repercussions of kicking them out instead of thinking of, why don't we have jobs that are worth a fucking damn? Well, fuck the immigrants. Where's my money at?
Like, for example, like the union strike. How they're trying to fucking put AI to control the shipping ports.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. It's more efficient.
The number one company in the world.
Jobs from real fucking people.
It's not that that takes away jobs. It's that we buy products that are our product that are like produced by that kind of labor. So like if we're buying from like AI driven initiatives and we're saying we're gonna buy all these products, then they don't need to have.
I'm saying, but if you put an AI in fucking Amazon right now that can pick every fucking thing, how many people are out of a fucking job?
Depends on how many people buy shit on Amazon. See, that's the issue, that we're enabling it by being consumers. We're buying the shit that they're selling us and they're cutting jobs. And that's why I keep going back to the whole point is not fuck the immigrants. I don't care. Do what you got to do to get rid of them. None of my business, right? Where are the jobs? Where are the opportunities? Why do the houses cost so much? Why does food cost so much? That's what the real issue is.
Of course, it's a corporate bullshit.
These immigrants came in and took over this community that no one probably gave a fuck about. That's why everybody lives there, because it's affordable and cheap, because there's nothing else. They can't go anywhere else. They'd get the fuck out and go somewhere else if they had the opportunity. They're not having those problems. And the people that live in those $250,000 houses, making $100,000 a year, talking about get rid of the immigrants, don't have to deal with those problems. They just point them out when it's convenient during an election, but they forget about those poor whites, like you said, when the rest of the time when they don't have fucking jobs and they have to spend $500
I absolutely don't disagree with that point. It's just about the optics going into election season and what, like, for example, like,
it's always been like that. It's not something new.
Here's another example.
Born and something like that.
Kamala Harris is part of the genocide that's going on in Palestine right now.
Nigga, the United States is part of the genocide that's going around in 90% of the world. Like,
that's not the fucking point, though, Matt. The point is that she is directly responsible for the arms embargoes that are going to Israel right now, the weapons that are being used, the bombs that are being
Here's the fucked up part.
like she is directly in charge of
this
that.
This nigga initiated an embassy in Israel before he left his presidency and installed that shit over there. Made them niggas basically get set up to be part of NATO. Then they start acting fucking wild. We already had this agreement with them. His stepson or his stepson-in-law, whatever, was fucking helping deal with them, right? Because he was fucking Jewish. So it's like he started that shit there, and then they came after him. But everyone forgets that he's the ones that started tickling the balls of Israel before Biden was even president. So you can't then be like, oh, well, let me. They should have did. There's nothing they could. It's already too late. When you put a fucking embassy there, we have to support them.
Before the election, they knew that Palestine was an issue with American voters.
But Palestine's been an issue for like
let me land in my plane real quick. Knowing that Palestine is such an issue with American voters, you know you're going to have to pander now. You know, now, for example, you're going to either have to pander to one side or the other. Either you're pro-Israel or you're pro-Palestine. What did Trump do? He got up on stage and said, now we're going to finish the job. We're going to make sure Israel can take over that shit and get rid of these people. What did Kamala do? She went and in Pennsylvania, she shot a fucking pro-Palestine video saying, hey, no, this is fucked up. Blah, blah, blah. We need to do this.
But the Palestinians voted against her.
But then she went to fucking Ohio and fucking shot one saying she was pro-Israel. So she was flip-flopping on both sides, and the Arabs called her out on it. And they said,
the same Arabs came out later and they were like, why did you do more? That's why we didn't vote for you. And then complaining and asking Trump or Biden to do something. I'm sorry. They came back and were like, Daddy Biden, now that we didn't vote for Kamala, can you please take care of this before you leave office? This shit has been brewing for decades. It just started popping off this last year and all of a sudden became a focus of attention. And those same people that are worried about that nigga wiping them out are the ones that fucked themselves and voted for him. So I don't feel bad for him. Personally, it's fuck you. Do you feel bad for him? I don't feel bad. You literally fucked yourself. And now you're bitching because the person that's coming in that you voted for or didn't vote for, you voted third party so she wouldn't get elected because you're so mad she didn't do anything.
Do you think the people in Palestine voted for that? Like, it's people who are over here that Americanized have been living and have the right to vote.
Yeah.
Now, the people in Palestine, that's a whole different thing. Like, that's an issue that we're supplying our tax dollars to drop bombs on it. Like, even right now,
that's what I have.
Like, even right now, is the international
made that choice before they were in office. That's not even a.
I know.
Put the base there, and we had to support it.
I know, but literally, they issued an arrest warrant for Netanyahu. The fact that we have an ally who's being charged with these things,
but that's
like puts us in a position now where it's like if they arrest that dude and try to take him to the Hague, we now have to shoot them down and recover him back.
That's my issue. You got everybody's mad. Everybody's mad at Kamala as if she's the fucking president. She's not. She can't do shit, and everybody knows she can't do shit. But they're mad that she doesn't do shit. He's the one that could actually say, you know what, we're gonna do this. You know what, Israel, fuck you on this, and we're gonna do this. He hasn't done it. It can't just sit solely on her shoulders. She can't do anything.
I know that.
Everybody knows she can't do anything.
Optics. But optically, so she should have chosen a side and stuck to that.
No one has ever done that in the history of the presidency. To expect for her to fucking do that is madness. No one's done that.
You can't.
No one stopped the war as a vice president. No one initiated any of those policies. It's the president. It's that he's the nigga in charge. And you mad at the fucking assistant manager. Nigga, she's not the manager, right?
But if we ask the assistant manager, what are you going to do different when you become the manager? And you go, no, I'm going to keep doing the same shit the old manager did. Who do you think the people are going to vote?
And this nigga wants to wipe them off of fucking existence. What do you mean? Is it a clear choice? If I'm worried about them niggas dying, and you're telling me my choice is, maybe she won't do something, maybe she will, and this nigga's like, get to Palestine, then obviously it's your fuck up if you
it's a lose.
No, nigga, it's worse. Right. This is like, all right. It's just like Attack on Titan when that nigga was gonna destroy the entire world or just like die off somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And Kamala was to die off somewhere, but maybe she come back. and that nigga is the wipe the fucking world of your existence.
Yeah, but the whole point is that the international community is watching. They're
They've
literally
been watching. They've been popping off doing this crazy shit for years. The Iron
making
Dome
moves now against Israel. That hasn't happened before. Before they blindly supported and said, "Hey, we turn a blind eye. No, Palestine can't join the UN. You know, we can't give them rights."
They put an embassy over there before this nigga got there, and then you guys expect for him not to support the embassy that they placed over there? Like, there's no choice. You have no choice. You made him part of the gang. You can't back out now. That was before he got there. We assigned a fucking prime minister or whatever. We have U.S. troops there. Everything. We have a dome system. All that was agreed to for fucking years and years. It's been going on with Palestine and Israel. It's been a situation in Gaza. They started attacking their people. I never said that we should support.
That's why I didn't even want to vote for Kamala.
But
I wasn't going to. I voted for her because
I
saw her as the lesser evil. But I didn't want to vote for her because when for me the biggest issue was Palestine. And when you're sitting there going, "Hey, and I'm going to continue Joe Biden's policy," no, I'm going to make
this is where I'm indifferent because my focus would be the jobs here, the healthcare here, the roads here. Like, I don't care.
I get that. I don't. The majority of people don't care about Palestine.
It's none of my business. We shouldn't be involved.
It sets the standard.
That's their own shit. We are not Captain Save-A-Ho. We are not fucking Batman of the streets. Like, it's none of our fucking business. We should stay out of it. We should focus on taking care of it. It is where tax dollars go directly to them. That's my whole point.
We can't go, "It's not our business, but we're going to fund your debt."
Nigga, what I'm saying is we should put our monies and energy into our shit and not be worried about we're tied up into some shit. We're not the world fucking police.
Neither candidate was saying we're gonna stop giving Israel money.
That's my point, nigga. Like, you can't pick somebody based off a false narrative that doesn't make any fucking sense or equal out. It doesn't equal out for any of them. I'm gonna pick this nigga that's gonna murder everybody because I didn't like that you didn't do anything, even though you can't. That's a dumbass narrative. That doesn't even make any fucking sense. And I understand that was their narrative. But it's like, I don't feel bad for you, bro. Like, no. Number one, you're here in America. You're not over there taking care of shit. You want to talk about Israel? We are not talking about America. Nigga, like, the whole reason you're able to get here and have opportunities to get jobs, how can you do that? But the people that live here don't have those opportunities. Like, that's a bigger issue. That's what fucking
I get what you're saying, but for me, the reason it's so scary is because of the way that Israel is developing its just AI alone against Palestinians to be able to get drones to seek people out and blow them up.
People could do that.
It's not without the point. AI. The scary shit though is the further that technology develops, the sooner it could be one day deployed in countries like ours. It's like they already developed police dogs and fucking police drones and all that other shit. When the police drones have AIs that are fucking racist and shit, the same way Israelis are to fucking Palestinians, it's gonna be a fucking issue. And I know it's not an issue right now.
It's too late because they already spend too much money on military shit. They already have too many investments in that stuff. The companies that make money that aren't giving us opportunities for jobs, the ones that are cutting us off because of AI, they're the ones developing that shit. Like, their focal point is to make us get paid as little as we possibly can manage and live with, and then for them to own as much as they possibly can. It's a monopoly. It's been like that. It's just that nobody's mad about that, and everybody's mad about Israel, Palestine, Russia, Japan, China, North Korea, shit that, like, I get we have involvement in and we spend money on because of our taxes, but I'm more worried about us having money to spend, us having homes to own, jobs that are meaningful, security that makes sense. Like, that's what fucking matters.
But when we go to the grave and die, you really support AI taking over the ports.
No, I didn't say any of that shit. What I said is that we should have jobs, which means I'm not supporting AI to take over the ports. They can maybe make jobs efficient and keep us from getting harmed or having to do back-breaking work. I don't have no problem with that. But I'm saying
there's still jobs, though, that people had
it's gonna happen, nigga.
They've been having for the last 20 years,
worried about,
and now they have to jump into a whole new career field because AI takes over.
It happens with every iteration of the century,
and it's going to continue to happen.
It happens all the time. Nobody was mad about the steam engine getting taken over by gasoline because it was more efficient and less dangerous. I can't get mad about that. Like, that's just life. The bow and arrow's gone. Like, what are we gonna do? We got a gun now. You shoot you in the face. Like, these things are gonna happen with technology. Technology is not just computers, it's everything else. So like if everything's evolving over time, things are gonna change. Jobs are gonna get eliminated. That's a natural aspect of the workforce. You can't fight that. But I'm saying the actual like feeling of being a citizen should matter more.
People's fallback would be like, oh, you know what, I didn't make it out over here, so let me go get a job at McDonald's. If the AI is taking over the jobs in McDonald's and Starbucks and fucking
you gotta ask yourself
all this other shit,
why is it
where
taking over?
are the people going to go? If those jobs that are typically set for like the bottom barrel of society are now being taken over by AI, where are the people with fucking college degrees gonna go when the fucking fields just get thinned out completely?
Nigga, and this is more to the point of why are those the most ideal jobs for those people? Why those are the only opportunities for those people? That's the bigger issue, not the technology. The technology is just simply giving the people with the productivity the ability to eliminate their cost of workforce.
Yeah,
if there were jobs for those people outside of McDonald's or wherever, they would do those jobs if they were competitively paid for them. And that's what I'm saying. They shouldn't be allowed to pay people shit while making crazy money on their backs. Like, it shouldn't be that way. And if you want to do, like, for instance, a no person, whatever, you should be taxed to the max. Nigga, like, you should literally lose half your revenue because you're not employing people, but you're taking money from the communities that are around. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not for that.
What I'm saying though is, as technology advances, if we get rid of the McDonald's
you can't stop that though.
Where are the McDonald's workers going to go work at?
They need to have jobs that are realistically okay for them. It shouldn't be that their ideal situation is to work there. They should have opportunities everywhere. And that's what I have a problem with. I don't have a problem them saying we're going to take all the shit jobs, right? All the ones that are backbreaking, intensive, you could be injured, whatever. We're going to put fucking robots. I don't care about that. There should be jobs for teachers. There should be jobs for doctors. You should be able to do whatever the fuck you want.
How long before you get the AI robot to teach the kids?
That's my issue is that's what I'm saying. What about the degree when the degrees don't mean shit anymore?
I'm saying
that's what I'm worried about. When your degree doesn't mean anything anymore and you go into college, doesn't mean shit because when you get out, there's no fucking job for you. That's what I'm worried about. I get the great jobs or the jobs that are not the greatest. That happens. Like when they invented what the fuck was it? Like sewage, for instance. A bunch of people were out of jobs because they were no longer going in the tunnels, you know what I'm saying? To get rid of waste. There were all these jobs get eliminated as processes evolve. That's normal. But what I have a problem with is that the jobs that are available are bullshit. The jobs that are available are bullshit even if you have a degree. You got a degree, I got a degree. You're getting a degree, but when you get out, the jobs that are available are $5 more than the job that was shit. That's a fucking problem. And I mean, why am I going to school for $5?
And you saw how competitive the job field was in Florida when I was down there. I was a fucking vet with a degree, with a plethora of jobs.
That's what I'm saying. That's the real issue.
And I'm competing with the McDonald's workers for jobs.
Yeah, for their salaries, and that's what I have an issue with.
If we get rid of all those jobs, me and them are competing now for what's going to be left.
But that's not the issue. You know the issue is that the matter of fact is that going to college doesn't get you closer necessarily to anything that you would have had you been a regular worker. That's the bullshit. Issue. So where's the incentive for somebody to go get a higher education? Because there's no fucking jobs. Even if they get rid of the McDonald's jobs, there's still no fucking jobs. I'm still fucked. It doesn't mean anything.
But we see the raise in the inflation. We've seen where it's going, like with rent, with everything else.
And that's what I mean. It should be a reasonable, like if you go to college and you get a degree, you do the extra work, you go to school, all that good shit, you should be incentivized and paid more because that shit is harder to do than me. Hey, I didn't do any of that. And your level of education should matter. That should matter. But it doesn't anymore.
Look, like, even though I'm not a Trumper, right? That's what he's telling people, like, hey, make America great again. Back to the time when you wasn't worried about all these things, about the price of fucking groceries, of, you know, when you had this one, you know, income fucking family that multiple cars, like he's selling these people. And I know it's bullshit, but I also get why they're voting for him, because they're fucking scared. They're just like me. They're going to work to these fucking bullshit jobs and fucking seeing fucking the price of everything go up, and they're looking for someone to fucking save them. And I know neither of them was gonna fucking save them, but I'm going, hey, these people are gonna need a fucking savior because this is what's going on, and this is the direction that we're headed towards. I mean, like,
but we're already in Foxville, getting mad that we're going to Foxville. We're going to Foxville anyway. We've been in Foxville. We've been living in Foxville.
I know.
We got our social securities in Foxville.
But as to the point of Jose, as a person that is poor and is going through stuff, if you have someone giving you that hope, if you have someone, whether it's,
I wouldn't believe the nigga that spent all the money on his credit.
I don't know why you said
I wouldn't believe the
why
nigga
you just like excluded
that,
me, like I'm poor, like
no, but I'm saying
like we not all poor.
No, but I'm saying to your point, like I see what you're saying, where like I feel like Kamala wasn't saying the right thing.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's election season.
I don't disagree. I just feel like nobody ever says the right thing for me. Because like their thing is a war in a place that doesn't.
But Trump is a businessman, though. He's sitting there going like, "Hey,
you had your trial run. That's bullshit. They got you already came. You gave your grades in, and they were terrible for your 4 years. Don't pretend now. Like,
but to who though?
Look at your books.
Like to the business guys.
Nigga, you literally said you would bring money back to the United States.
But there's plenty of people who are business owners saying, "Yo, like we had it good when he was."
Yeah, they had it good. The United States had a spending deficit of like $7 fucking trillion. There's no. That's what I'm saying. Like Bill Clinton, he had a surplus. That to me is like a job report. You're a manager, right? You say you managed a fucking Best Buy for 4 years, and you're like, man, I want that regional supervisor position, or I want to do a management position again. And they're like, let's look at your last 4 years. So instead of saving us money, you spent $7 trillion. In fact, we owe that $7 trillion in debt based on your trial run of 4 years. And you get hired again, nigga? Again?
But
wait! You just said like no stat. That's a stat, nigga. That's the stat. Bill Clinton had like $1 trillion in the surplus, so he made us money in his 4 years. Nigga, look, I would love to vote for Bill Clinton's crazy ass again. Like I'd rather have him than them because he found the money. He was like, "Nah, we found the money. Under the desk, I was getting a blowjob, and it inspired me to find all this fucking money."
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like he found money. He found
the private industry, prison industry. Like literally, like he was hard on crime, throwing black people in prison for. That's when they were doing California, the 3-strike rule. Fucking, if you got 3 felonies,
popped off when
you were doing
Joe Biden was the nigga that pushed for the 3-strike law. That the Americans have been fucked up for brown and black people for mad.
I know
90 years.
That's a given. You know but I'm saying like. We look at that time frame though, like when Bill Clinton was president, like, oh yeah, there was a surplus, but it's like, what was that surplus? Where was this money going? Like, and what was going on at that time? You know what I'm saying? Which was
it was worse with Reagan and everybody. They love Reagan, Reagan shit, but Reagan was out here doing crazy shit. The snowfall was literally Reagan. So
because of how he was soft on coke but hard on crack. Because black people did.
I sprinkle a little bit, baking soda. Now you want to throw me in jail for 10 times the amount? Like that's crazy, and that's targeting a specific ethnic group, and that's what I don't agree with. That's why when they're like, "Hey, these immigrants," sounds just like, "Hey, these poor blacks." You know what I'm saying? To me, that's what I'm hearing, and I'm like, instead of us focusing on that aspect of, ask yourself, how did we get here? And it's no, everybody's mad about what's going on. They don't understand why they're there, why they're in that complex, and they can't leave. Why they can't get jobs. They have to get government assistance. Why is that the case for this entire community? Why is that the choice of I need to go home knowing I could die or my kids could get hurt? I can only live here. Why is that the problem? Why are they there with the fucking gang members, and why are the police not doing anything? You just said they were taxpaying people. Where are they for the community? So like these are the issues that are the issue. Just like we live in a nice place, but it's shit. If we pay taxes and nobody was outside showing up for us, or there were gangs everywhere, and we were like, man, we'd move somewhere else, but we can't. Like, that's a fucking problem.
Yeah.
I'm worried more about that problem and going to the grocery store and not spending $5,000 on food because it's crazy expensive. I'm worried about those things more than I'm worried about Palestine, Egypt. They got slaves in Africa. No one talks about that shit. No one gives a fuck about it. We're talking about Ukraine getting blown up.
My barber might, but
I'm just saying, people. That's what I'm saying. They had literally slave auctions on YouTube years ago when Trump was president.
Ain't no slavery going on over there.
While he was making America great again, they were selling slaves on YouTube. So, like, I don't.
I get what you're saying. It's just like again, like it's trying to find the solution within that, given where technology is advancing, given how, just how many people out there are dependent on money. You know what I'm saying? Like like I said, our last podcast, we were literally talking about migrants on fucking live streams doing sexual things in order to get the galaxies.
They've been doing that.
Like
they've been doing that. Everybody knows you can go to Thailand. You can go to Thailand and get a little sucky. That's been since like the 80s, 70s, 60s. But they've been over there getting the sucky.
It's just
for mad long.
Like how, because this thing was supposed to be like a dating app.
Now they're busting it wide open. TikTok's supposed to be for TikToking, and they be on TikTok doing some questionable deeds. So that's my whole thing. Is like they be out here. I can't get mad at the migrants for migrating. You know what I'm saying? I can't get mad at the migrants for migrating. Like they gonna do what they want to do.
Let's slide up out of politics because I don't want to serious this out too much.
Okay. Well, better topic. We gonna roll on to it. So we were talking about. Okay. Oh no, go ahead. I'm sorry. My bad.
No, I just want to wrap up the whole wedding fucking shit because we ended up like over here somewhere. Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like I said, because election happened while mom was up here and all this other shit. So you know what I mean? Like I wanted just to recap everything. But it like I said, a lot's happened and the world is getting crazy. It's you know what I mean? Like, but that's why I love podcasts, because like the thing is like even just now, like we have, it's a passionate debate that we just had. And even though we may not agree and we have opposing views, we're able to talk about these things in a way that like to try to like further our understanding of things. Like we don't like, I'm not a historian. I'm not a fucking, a goddamn lawyer. I'm not a doctor. I'm not like any, fucking field. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to go to university for journalism, but I don't have that.
Shout out Jesus.
But, but you know what I'm saying? Like I'm just, as a human being,
you my boy,
talking about what I see, and then like being able to like further my understanding of it by talking about these things. So that's why it's dope that these things exist, because outside, even just out of politics, we can have these conversations like and they're absolutely necessary, even if they are uncomfortable. Like arguments and shit like that. Like sometimes they're fucking they're not the most enjoyable to go through, but sometimes good things come out of them. So, you know what I mean? Like they're
necessary evils.
Yeah. But
speaking of uncomfortable, 25-year-old porn star visits colleges to fuck freshmen on camera. I don't see what the problem is. I don't even know how this is a story. She's in the age bracket.
No, I don't think the problem is the age thing. It's, I think, more of
she's got a trademark. She out here busting the pussy open. Like she has a trading card. She has like a business card. Like, this is my website. Here, she's a professional out here.
Trust me. Like, if I'd have been in their shoes, I'm hidden.
I mean, that's what I said. Like, where's the story here?
I think the story is because, like, for example, right? Like, if we would have flipped this in reverse, and it would have been a 25-year-old guy going to fucking college campuses to go dick down.
Happens all the time.
It happens all the time. But to like,
if he was online selling dick and then he went to go college campuses and fuck 18-year-olds, they
would hit him with the whole grooming thing. And,
nigga, they had girls gone wild.
He's a pedophile.
Out there, 25-year-old. You know, there's a nigga in college that's in there is like 4 years old.
Nigga, I'm about to smash him out of
There are older men in college areas fucking these 18-year-olds, and no one has a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it. I feel like you want to slay your pussy on college campus, and you're within like the 7-8 year range. You could be 45 in college campus at this point. Anybody can go to college at any age. So, like, if you're a legal adult and a slightly older legal adult that happens to be an adult entertainer is out here just scooping you up, at least she's scooping niggas up in college. She's not scooping niggas up.
Trust me, like, I'm sure it's a wonderful experience. I've seen her on Pornhub. Like, she is great at her job, bro. Like I'm not.
Her glutes are amazing.
The problem is, right? I think the scary thing is that, for example, these kids are freshmen, right? Like, they're fucking a girl who just fucked 150 dudes in 1 week. And you don't know that she may always wear protection. Yeah, like I was reading her story, like 150 dudes in 1 week. Like, and like this is her thing. She has like an OF where she goes around to these college campuses and then like has like an appointment set up where she has lines of dudes come and rail her.
21.
So the scary thing, it's like, what if like you get some shit?
Yeah, but
because I know that these kids shouldn't be going there to go fuck this girl, but they're 18-year-old fucking dudes. Like,
if you're stupid enough to even fuck a porn person and not use protection, nigga, that's on you. Like,
she's a public figure, nigga.
I'm saying like you can get STDs like any number of ways. So it's like,
but
you know what I mean? Like, it's at least to me, like that's a scary fucking thought. Like looking at like,
you just gotta
I wouldn't fuck her. I wouldn't fuck her now. You know what I mean?
You can't kiss me while we having sex. That takes care of the herpes and the mouth part. Everything else, you wear a condom. What the fuck?
Wearing a shirt, wearing some jeans,
like
wearing some socks, like
nigga, like no.
Oh man,
but I don't know. It's just nuts, I guess, to me that women can be so like not women, but that these particular women can be so audacious and like their body count like that. Like I would be ashamed.
I mean, guys
like,
do it. Guys do it all the time, man. They be out here like, man, I saw this dick for like 300 bitches. I ain't had no problem with it.
If I said I fuck 150 girls in 1 week, like y'all need to. Like, we need an intervention.
What's the guy? 90 Day Fiance who said he fucked.
It's like several hundred people
1,500
in like a period of like 3 years.
And it sounds like he has a problem.
No, for sure.
Like, but that's what I'm saying is like if I'm fucking 150 girls when I go to, y'all better pull me to the side and go, what is wrong?
Jesus will take care of that for us.
I'm sure Jesus will have an intervention. But what I'm saying is like that's fucking ridiculous. Like that's. But
the story was about her going to go fuck people. I don't have a problem with her going to go fuck people.
That's 150, like each campus. Like that's just her going to LSU 1 week.
Are they
going to fuck?
Them?
No, it's free.
Oh,
See, my thing is like, isn't that prostitution? Just like what Diddy?
What's exploitation? Because she's recording them and
she's selling dick.
She's recording it and putting it on OnlyFans.
It's free pussy, but she's selling it online. You selling it online, and you selling your pussy to the masses while you're getting smashed out by college students traveling different states.
That's like you may not be like you may be cool with fucking the girl, but you may not be cool with her making a sex tape.
Yeah, you're right.
So no, I mean, as long
only if both people are consenting adults.
How do you
believe me when I tell you these college kids are
they're consenting to the box, but are they consenting to her?
You said they're consenting to the box.
They're consenting.
This person, this female, strikes me as someone like a business female. Like she gonna have them papers ready. You signing this shit. You giving me the.
I mean, probably.
It's not stupid.
Like, I'm just saying, like maybe like. They don't like
get your money and
understand that they're about to end up on.
Be sitting here fucking a fucking porn star.
Yeah,
what the fuck are you talking about? They shouldn't be fucking a porn star. They shouldn't be signing papers. They don't know what the fuck they sign.
Keep your dick to yourself.
And I can guarantee you, half of these kids have already been exposed to shit like that. We're talking like they're like fucking like kids in elementary school. They're fucking college kids, college adults who've already probably been exposed to fucking porn, to fucking sex in their preteen years. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, nah, nigga. Fuck out of here.
You're about to be exposed to a hell of a lot about that bitch. But it's a whole other point.
So,
speaking of being treated like kids, the UAP meeting in the Senate acting like we don't know what fucking aliens are look like. We've seen aliens.
No, man. How long before we pod with aliens?
Nigga, we seen aliens in our backyard. We seen them like literally flying in the fucking air. We seen aliens.
Like you talking about us?
Yes, nigga, us in the room. We seen alien.
I don't know what that was.
Nigga, get the fuck out of here.
It could have been Chinese.
That shit looked like Gallagher, nigga. There ain't no fucking way.
That's what Reddit said, anyways. And I posted the video.
Nah, that shit looked like Gallagher, nigga. There ain't no way there were that many goddamn orbs in the sky just floating around all you.
That shit was crazy.
It was nuts, nigga.
And it was so like
weird. Like just popping out of existence into existence.
So organized.
Like in synchronicity.
Yeah.
Like it was just like
there's no way
that shit was structured as fuck.
It wouldn't have I've never seen one of those.
Fire lanterns.
But I feel like it would have been more going up.
They were just moving
that
too
shit
fast.
Was moving to the side.
It was moving too fast.
And there was like a couple that were kind of like doing their own thing too. Like they would break off from the group or whatever. But I mean, like, it's just like, it's like I said, it's scary because we don't have like, for example, we're just getting now the understanding that there's aliens, for example, UFOs in the waters, UFOs in the skies doing all this shit. How long before we realize that like these things are amongst us, like, and they are a part of society.
They've been here for a minute. You look at a map of the globe and see it's just mad water and we haven't explored it. The niggas is chilling in the Marianas Trench, just coming out for breakfast and shit, looking about, what's going on. Like where their Facebook? Like they're out here just,
I ain't gonna lie, that's just kind of fire. Like if like an alien tried to give you like an Uber like back to like the ocean or some shit and like to go to like their fucking home base, like you riding?
Nah, nigga, I ain't getting booty raped in the deep. I'm good, yo. That sounds like you just go to there to get raped.
That sounds like a day with Conor McGregor.
Yeah, nah, nigga, that sounds like you about to get violated all types of ways and they about to put you back home and you're gonna be back crazy as shit. You're gonna look crazy telling people, well, this alien just came pick me up, went all inside my anus, then dropped me off in the street, didn't even leave me no fucking tip.
Well, no, I know, but like to me though, like just like the aspect of being in a craft that could go into like the water like that shit would be fucking fire.
Nigga, I can put on a VR headset. We can avoid all of that interaction. I am good. I am not going down the deep.
You said you're going down with the
we can't even speak the language, nigga. I can't even talk to this nigga and ask him what the fuck's going on. Imagine getting deep diving and you're just in a spaceship and that nigga look weird as fuck and you're trying to talk to him. He's like, you're like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Oh my god. You're like, nigga, stop for real. Like, just bring me back. And he's like,
nah, imagine you start deep dive where he just put a hand on your thigh. Oh shit. Stop, bro. Stop.
He put his hand on your thigh. Time out. Just, like cream instantly. What the fuck? You just can't control it because he's got stop it! It's like every time he touches it.
I did not consent.
He's just down there making you cream and shoving shit in your ass. Dropping you off, nigga. That'd be terrible. Oh man. I would not I don't think that would be a good experience. I feel bad for those people now. Like they were telling the truth. They were getting picked up, gang raped by aliens and fucking experimented on and then just got back off the home and it's yo,
the years later we
get the God, this nigga probed and it's just like, you fucking crazy son of a bitch. That never fucking happened. And now we're just like, yo, these niggas really got probed. These niggas got problems. Like some of y'all out here just cutting cows up and dropping them off, leaving crop circles, shit's like gang members. But for like space, like y'all fucking space pirate ass niggas leaving fucking signs like I'll be back, nigga. That's my spot right there. Where that grass is right there in that spot in that cornfield.
The alien freak offs gotta be crazy.
They gotta be crazy, yo. I wonder what kind of lubricant they use. I mean, did he with the baby oil? Maybe they got that anti-gravity shit, the anti-gravity lube.
I'm sure they got anti-gravity, all kinds of things. But
I mean, probably.
But I'm saying that shit, like for me, that's what I just think about. Like, how would that, like what that technology could do for us? Just imagine, like for example, how we want to go to Japan. Imagine if we had a UFO that could take us to Japan in like 2 hours.
I'd rather a portal
versus
like walk through that shit and pop out on the other side, nigga.
I'm sure that's probably like how it functions or something like that. Like where like they can bend space or like fucking go like shorten distance, whatever. But like just imagine like how that would alter like your life if you had access to that kind of technology.
Niggas would be late all the time. Like, yo, my bad. I thought I had enough time, but the walk to the spaceship was just a little longer than I thought it would be. So my hair's not done, but I'm only 5 minutes late. Niggas would be late all the fucking time.
Space traffic was crazy. There was all these accidents.
Everybody trying to go to a game or some shit in the stadium and you just see a bunch of UFOs popping up at the last minute, bad traffic. And you're like, yo, what the fuck? Niggas got spaceships, they don't know how to fucking act, nigga. The lines is long everywhere, yo. You try to get there early, a bunch of niggas just popping up 30 minutes early in the parking lot. Like, yo, we talking last, nigga.
Imagine if Kendrick pops up in the Super Bowl with a UFO and just
or it's at capacity. It's at capacity. You try to go through the portal and you can't get it because there's no parking spots, and it's like, bloop, bloop, you just fucking get hit. You gotta walk backwards. Like, never mind. I can't go.
I'm just saying that technology would be sick though. Like,
it'd be fire. The problems might not be. It might not be fire. Like, imagine you go.
We fuck everything up. You know what I'm saying?
So like, get a bad model, right? Like, you go to Best Buy, you drop your shit in the back before you got it, and you get home, you're like, man, I just want to go to Rome for like a week. You get in the portal, and everything looks like it's normal, like a portal does, and then you get to the other side, and you're falling from the sky to the ground to your fucking death. That'd be terrible.
No, you come out the portal, but like you're missing like limbs. Like you just missing like
put you back together weird shit. I was just talking like wormholes, like you.
Why am I only 50% loaded?
Yeah, not like a hologram or whatever, where they load your whole body. And not like that. Like you walk through a path, not through a reassembler. I ain't going through one of them shit. Fuck that, nigga. If they tell me it's a wormhole and they split space and I can walk through and get to the other side, that sounds a lot better than, hey, we gonna disassemble you and put you back together on the other side. We thinking it might be, but we don't know.
You know what I mean? Like,
nah.
Where you take shit together, you know what I mean? Like, you break it down and, you know, quantum.
That's some shit from Star Trek.
That's what China was working on. Quantum fucking, I forget what it's called.
Quantum entanglement?
I forgot. It's something like that. But it was essentially, they would break something down and then, like, instantaneously send it to somewhere else, and then it would reassemble itself.
It's communication.
But,
that one side in the middle of like nowhere can talk to the other side and like instantaneously communicate, but sending a particle like or breaking particles down and putting them back together, there's no way to do that and keep you like right. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure the aliens got the technology.
They probably have wormholes, which would make sense. Like they probably ripped a space battery and for you to walk through it and to get to the other side like that, but to like make some shit that tears your particles down and puts it back together, that's some other shit.
Like the alien jetpack gotta be crazy.
Nigga, that San Andreas release, nigga, I'm telling you, yo, that shit'll be fire. I wouldn't want a jetpack though, because I feel like what happens if you run out of gas? You in the air.
I mean,
you assed out, nigga. Like a spaceship, at least you can just
juice up before you go. Like
you might have a leak, nigga. You just didn't check it. Like you put the jetpack down too hard when you had a couple shots last night. You let out the gas, think you good.
But I mean, it's alien, so it's probably not like
it's probably like
it doesn't run on like you know a consumable you know thing. Like it's probably like
an infinite battery or something.
Yeah, like anti-gravity fucking bullshit. But I mean, like it's just crazy that like our government is having these conversations. Like in front of our faces now. Like this is like how comfortable like before they were hiding these things and like not talk. Like I kind of want them to not talk about it again. Like because like so either show me the pictures or show me the aliens. But other than that, shut the fuck up.
Supply us all with some jetpacks or some shit, some free transportation, and then we're going just all right, y'all do whatever y'all gotta do. Slide us some Teslas with some fucking UAP batteries on them, and we can just drive forever, and no one will give a fuck what you do with the aliens. This is like everybody got a state-issued Tesla. They all have UAP batteries in them. Free charging for everybody. We gonna fuck these aliens in the butthole, take all the technology, and create a bunch of new shit. All right, cool. No one's gonna say anything. Everybody's like, cool, I don't got no car payment. I gotta pay for gas. I gotta pay for none of that shit. It's state-issued. Everybody got a car. We'll be a bunch, you know, mindless numb people for buying into it, but we let them ride with the UAP. We be like, gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Make them spaceships, fight them space alien niggas.
Go ahead, do what you gotta do.
Get that independence free out there, nigga. Go ahead, do what you gotta do.
Blow up house, blow
it all up, nigga. I got my ride to work. It's so quiet with this electric engine from space.
That's good. That's how you end the war real quick. Show
give everybody
goddamn UFOs.
Just abduct all them niggas.
All right, I put my weapon down. Like,
so speaking of some misleading things, holy water in India is just AC condensation. I know God's like this right now.
Is there a video with it?
Maybe. Let me see. Oh yeah, there is.
You gotta see the people, bro. Like they really was believing.
Yeah, they got the little a cup. They throw water on them. Catching the holy water.
That's what I mean. Like That's how much people believe. Like they're going to this temple, drinking AC, like. Imagine when the aliens show up, bro.
You're like, here, drink this cum juice. You're like, oh, it's a holy one. Yeah, that'll be pretty bad.
Like that's the part that I hate about like religion. And I mean, even though I'm a religious person, like when you like so blindly believe in like where something could take advantage of you like that, like these people were just like chilling, and like somebody was just like, yo, we got holy water at the temple. It's leaking out of like a fucking thing. And these poor people were like imagine if you had like some kind of skin condition, you want to get cured or some shit, and all of a sudden you hear that the fucking holy water's like at the fucking temple.
That's kind of the problem though. The whole basis of faith is believing in something that you can't necessarily prove.
No, I mean there's that aspect of it.
So you're going to be vulnerable, but depending on how deep your faith is. If somebody tells you like, if you believe in God, like it has been done in the Bible, like if you believe in God, you'll kill your only son. Like you'll believe in God, you'll do. So like faith is a powerful motivator, and people do fucked up things.
Oh, I know.
Thinking that and people take advantage of people.
That's the scary part, because like I mean like we've had this talk before about where I said like the Great Deception, where if these aliens. What if these aliens aren't aliens? What if these aliens are fallen angels and they get us, you know what I'm saying? Like they perform these miracles, and like we get.
What if they just stop and they're like, yeah, we made all that shit up. We were just trying to give y'all something to believe in, so when we come and rape you later, nobody has a problem with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what if it was like fucked up like that? I'd be really upset if we were just like, I don't know, some like meat machines for the robots. Or for the aliens. I mean, that would suck dick. That would suck dick. Like, I'm sure
to them, we're nothing more than like sex toys.
We're meat machines.
Like we're not meat machines. Like I don't like I would think. Labor. I mean, it's not just that, but it's like for example, let's say like they're whether they're aliens, angels, or whatever the fuck, they're a higher being who looks down on us as like the same. Like just think of like what white people did with slavery. Like, and that was to another human being.
I feel like it's like even
imagine what you would do to something that's not even like a being on your level. Like
it's like a nigga pulling up on like they have those like air competitions, and they have like different planes like competing with each other. It's like somebody showing up in like a jet, and somebody showed up in a UFO. Like, yeah, nigga, what? Like they're in a whole.
I imagine it was like they probably treat us the way we treat the Tesla robots. Like, you know, when just kicking them, fucking with them, like they just look at us as like inferior, fucking like you don't have you have the rights that I grant
in
you.
In that regard, like they said they can move in like 9,000 G, would literally like just evaporate our bones. So like they can move that fast. They either got some crazy ass technology in there. Or they're like an organism that can take all that pressure. Either one's scary. Like either one's scary. If they're an organism that can take all that pressure, then that's crazy. But I don't think that's true, because they said they found like dead bodies allegedly. So I think they can die, but I just think the crafts give them good technology. My other question is like, why do these niggas keep crashing? You know? Like,
I mean, that's definitely
all man. But like, why niggas keep fucking this up? Like. They shouldn't be able to find that many crafts. Y'all niggas is professionals like y'all clear. You know what I'm saying? Y'all out here just
better than the Blue Angels.
How the fuck did you get here from another goddamn universe, but you go crash when you were around, nigga? Like, did your autopilot stop working?
But maybe they're not that oceans. Maybe like the fucking the water's fucking with the electrical systems or whatever the fuck. What
if they were just stupid as fuck? Like, they were stupid as fuck, but they had access to, like, crazy technology, and then they got here, and they're like, oh, shit!
You open up the UFO, and it's an Asian.
It's like, fuck. Or what if they were, like, future...
To my Asian people out there listening, I fucks with y'all.
What if they were, like, humans from the future that... To get access to that type of technology, they had to like be transformed into that. You know, to be able to like communicate with it. They're like, you can use this technology, but you have to be this. to communicate to it. Like it doesn't communicate to anything but this. So once you step in here, you'll be this and you'll be able to use it, but you won't be human anymore.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna just be an alien now. And then you're just like, all right, cool, like I got this, and then like you're far away or whatever. You come back as, you know, a human, but not a human anymore. And you're just like, okay, these are my people now. And they have like a community college and shit in the water. You know, you learn how to fly your spacecraft, and then you go out like Top Gun, you get your training, and then you go back, you know. What if they're fighting a whole nother alien war that we don't know about? Like they're doing
it's
Independence
possible.
Day, you know, 20 and shit.
But what do you think, Kayla? Like,
They could be
given that,
clearing
like,
asteroids.
you come from like a somewhat religious background. I mean, like, how do you like perceive these things that's going on in society now, where the government's coming out saying that these, you know, these craft are real and that they have like bodies somewhere in some Area 51 type shit?
I mean, I'm not naive enough to believe that this universe, and I've said this plenty of times, is as big as it is, and there isn't some sort of
Extraterrestrial.
Yeah, being out there. I mean, there's no way. I think it's weird how they're controlling the narrative on it, and you know, they're just they're giving you enough information to keep you, but not the entire information. That makes me wonder why. If you've already let the biggest secret out, which is that they exist, it kind of scares me to know what they're hiding, because if they're not saying everything, and that to me is the biggest thing, then why are y'all being so serious about it now? So that part scares me. Yeah.
That's what I think. I think it's some crazy shit that we just never could perceive. But if it is some crazy shit, that would suck. That would suck. That'd be like the big letdown. Like you thought it was this, but really, like y'all are some sheep, like the Matrix and shit like that. Like that would suck dick. You're like, well, yeah, you're born to live and die. Why? Because you fuel a machine that we use to travel. Like that'd be crazy. Like you can't find any signature because it's powered by souls. Like what? Wait a minute. Yeah, it's powered by souls. We created you to die, to live and die, because it powers our machines. And we
we're just entertainment for the aliens. Like
that would really suck. Like they put us here. Like we're all over here, like trying to figure out what's going on with them, and they're like, "Nigga, we put you there. What do you mean?"
They're fucking with us like The Sims or something. Like they're just like, oh, let's just start a war in Palestine over here. Yeah. See what these niggas do.
What if they were hacking into? We think it's like Russian hackers. The hackers think the Russians think that we're hacking them, and the whole time it's the aliens. Like, yeah, stupid motherfuckers.
Fire away.
Are you dumb? Like when a volcano pops off, it's really them niggas just hitting the red button and shit. Like, yeah, let's blow that one up today. We want to see some aliens or some humans run around. And
like even like the hurricanes, like the Philippines, they got hit by 4 hurricanes in 1 week. Like 4 hurricanes in 1 week. I didn't even know that was possible. But like, yeah, because I mean, just like how
there's a nigga out there, an alien UFO nigga just out there, just
somebody's hitting the button.
Yo, send it. Wait a minute, what? Send another one. We told you to stop doing. You can't do 4 a week, bro. It's just too many. It's good job.
But I don't know, man. Like, it just seems like somebody's having fun with us. Like,
yeah.
And I don't like that feeling because it makes me wonder. I was like, when does the show start? When does it end? Like, is it like all the time? Something like when I'm at work, like how much access do you have? Do you see me when I jerk off? Like, how much do you like how?
He's up there right now, like, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes, I do. I see you all the time.
Like
I saw you with no one thought I saw you.
But
yeah.
Now, quick question. Do you feel like this has always been your train of thought in regards to aliens, as far as how like freaky and shit they are? Or do you feel like you have to think that way since you watched Sundown?
Oh no, so like for me, right, my history with aliens probably began when I was 10. So I remember, do you remember that church that we used to go to next to the YMCA?
Yeah.
When I would go to that one, for some reason I used to bring this abduction book with me. And I honestly, it never was an issue. I think like I used to read it while niggas was preaching and shit. Like I would get bored of the preacher and I would just bust out the abduction book and just be like, all right, what's going on here? But like even back then when I was reading the book, like it made all these mentions of like the freak shit, the probes in the butt,
light, the probes,
the women getting impregnated and like them coming back to take the babies, and then like I mean like this has been an ongoing thing. And then even if you look like, for example, like you look back at like the Roman gods, the Greek gods, it's like they were pretty fucking raping too. Like niggas showed up, said, "Hey, we're fucking her," and if she don't like it, she was turning into Medusa. Like,
you getting this god dick or I'm cursing you. What? Get this god dick.
So it just seems like it seems like a very common theme amongst like these type of beings that they just take people and like. And the scary part is like if you read like those books, I mean, like these people are in their sleep, like in bed, getting fucking abducted, like pulled up into the air through the house into a UFO, taken somewhere, fucking shit shut, like where they literally like can't fight at all. Like it's like sleep paralysis. Imagine like having like sleep paralysis and there's fucking aliens surrounding you, and so they're shoving like a massive probe into your butt. And you cannot move, and you feel all that shit, and then they just dump you off and like scrub a couple memories, but you still have nightmares and fucking see their face and shit.
Metallic probe,
like,
your asshole.
That's the kind of shit that these motherfuckers be on. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and that's why it's funny that Don even like highlighted that thing. Yeah, because like most anime, when they talk about aliens, they don't have that kind of.
Like an interest in them. They're not necessarily out there raping people in the streets.
It's more like they gloss it over, like in a very kind of. I mean, because it's a kiddish, kind of medium. So it's like they don't like really talk about that shit. So for Don to really like highlight the scariness, I mean, just even like the curses in Don, like it makes me wonder like if shit like that exists, like if that's what demons are, like turbo grannies and fucking, you know what I mean, like the silky acrobat dancer bitch, you know what I'm saying, like fucking how obsessed she became with that little girl, you know what I'm saying, like
you think like demons exist?
Definitely.
Absolutely.
You think they could do like Final Destination shit?
Yes.
I don't know, because I so for example, right, like when I think of demons, I think of incorporeal beings that can take over corporeal bodies.
Look at the story of like Jacob and how the devil asked permission to God to mess with him. I don't think
that was Job.
Job. I don't think he did it himself. I think he sent his lackeys. And I do think that demons fuck with you like that.
So they had this Tesla that locked 4 passengers in the car during a car fire.
That's a crazy segue.
That's what I was getting at. The demons part. Do you think demons?
Tesla's the demons, like
no, like there could be like demons could possess people. Do you think they could possess things? Like you think when somebody dies in some freak accident? Remember like Paul Walker when he died? They're like, how did he die?
There was a government conspiracy about that.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, do you think that these things could be like the person's cursed or they have like a demon?
I mean, I think it's possible. Like, I mean,
because that's some bad luck. Like, you get locked in a car and you die from a fire.
But I think that's just a Tesla malfunction because I've heard of it. Other incidents happening where people got locked out.
Like, don't sue us, Tesla. This is just all alleged. There you go, alleged. But,
shit, y'all should be worried about the lawsuit coming your way. Y'all killed 4 people.
Right, that part.
I mean, it could have been a demon. That's what I was trying to
do. I don't think you could sue demons and hold them accountable.
Nah, you can't. You can't. Oh man.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, it's just it's scary because like y'all remember that movie not Left Behind the one that Obama made on Netflix.
You Leave the World Behind.
Yeah, Leave the World Behind. Like that part where like the Teslas were fucking crashing into each other. Like, I mean, like just imagine something that can lock you in, like, and it or doesn't have door handles, so you can't, open the door. And like, there's just so many things that can go wrong, and this is one of them. Like, I'm sure it's nice to have a fucking Tesla. Like, the barber, he was bragging to me about it. He was like, "Yo, Tesla is so great in the snow. I can just do this." Like, I'm like, yeah, but I'm like, what happens if like a fire breaks out and now you're trapped in that bitch with your kids and that shit locks you out and you're sitting there fucking hitting the unlock button and the AI
you get that $12.99 window breaker on TikTok shop. It's $7.99 this week for Black Friday special. I'm just playing. I don't really know if it is, but it probably is on there. I've seen them like the 2-in-1. Pop one of those. I mean, I would practice, nigga. I'd go up to like a Corona bottle, like, and then just see if it shattered.
But I mean, aren't I'm not gonna say they're bulletproof.
It's made with a different kind of glass, so you have to test it on the car. So I just find an op and then tap his window, you know, and then I'll know it was me, but he won't know it was me, and then I'll also know if it works.
But I mean, like, these are the scary things that are going to come with technology as it advances and, you know, it becomes more mainstream. Like, you know,
speaking of things coming mainstream, nigga with an RPG pulls it out on burglars.
This nigga just pulled out a rocket launcher on the news yesterday. Someone was getting robbed.
That's like some GTA shit. Yeah, I swear to God.
Almost immediately. Here's the clip. Look at this shit. Nigga hops out the car, started dipping. Nigga started the first car and shit.
You know how bad I would shit myself if a nigga pulled out an RPG on me, like in mid robbery.
Civilians get rocket launchers? I thought this would only be for like fucking, I don't know. And I don't know if that had anything to do with it.
It looked like a rocket launcher. I'm pretty sure it's like this little.
A rocket launcher is still a rocket launcher.
Yeah, he's fucking blow the fuck out, nigga. He had the compact edition, nigga. He was ready.
You see how he had to like sit down and hold that bitch? Like,
you have to break it.
Well, no, but I'm saying like he knows how to hold that bitch. Like, it wasn't like.
But he's still too close. Like, if he let that off right there, he would have blew up himself.
I'm sure he caught some shrapnel himself. But you know, like some motherfuckers, like they be holding the gun sideways and shit. They don't know how to really like shoot. That nigga knows how to shoot an RPG. I'm sure, like he just came back from Baghdad, like fucking snuck some like weapons, like back in his.
Ain't no way.
Like, he was just like ready for fucking war. Like, these migrants are fucking like. All right, see if I can pull this RPG out. But I mean, that's the scary part about like some of them veterans. The motherfuckers is crazy. Like, yeah, and especially if they have access to weapons like that. Like,
how do you get an RPG though? Like, that's that's not legal. Like, that's not straight legal. Nigga, what are you doing, bro? Other than you can take them to a range, you have to have like a munitions expert.
You're getting that straight from Uncle Sam. Like,
well, speaking of scary shit, Black New York residents receive a text drafting them into slavery. Yeah, I remember those texts that were going out. People were getting them before the election or during the election time.
Really?
Saying some racist shit. Yeah, when there's a TikTok involved.
I received this alarming and crazy text message saying that I was getting picked up on November 24th. I just had so many emotions after that.
You have been selected to pick cotton at the nearest plantation.
And you're scheduled to get picked up.
Be ready November 11th at 12 p.m. sharp. No personal belongings needed. Our executive slaves will contact you. What? Our executive slaves? Who's executive slaves?
Bro, you know how scary that shit is? Like, imagine like if someone did contact them. Like, imagine like if you're like sitting at home, you get a fucking text telling you got drafted into slavery, and you think it's like bullshit. And you're sitting there just going about your day like normal, and then you get like a knock on your door, and there's like some fucking dude in shackles. Like, you got the text, right? Like, fucking, come on.
What if your number was recycled? And it wasn't even really meant for you.
What if you get immigrant, like, pop, like, kicked out, and you're a legal citizen because Trump is doing mass deportations, but then Russia fuck with the data? So it looks like you're not an American citizen anymore. You get like shipped to El Salvador because your DNA or your fingerprints is matched up with an illegal immigrant. They just want to get rid of all the brown people. And everybody that voted for Trump and shit, like, get him out. A bunch of them get kicked the fuck out under false pretenses just to get rid of all the browns. You know what I'm saying? Make America white again. That would be fucking crazy if we're on the other side of the wall that they build when they kick all the brown people out.
I kind of would be down to get deported. I wouldn't.
Nah. We were just talking about being upset about the gangs taking over. Nigga, you want to go live with them niggas? Like, what do you mean? I like how running water in here. I don't know about you, but I like the running water and the working toilet bowls and the toilet paper and the non-rapey rapes.
I'm sure, like, there's like some nice parts. Like,
I'm sure we got to fight through all the El Salvadorians to get there.
Got behead a couple, you know what I mean, Salvadorians, but
nah. What's this Candace Owens shit? I'm just gonna play it because I don't really have a good
Actually, one of
segue.
the things that plausibly unites people across all religions, Muslims, Jews, Christians, is that we all recognize that Rabbi Shmuley is unhinged. He's just mentally, in my view, unwell. And I don't say that as an attack. I say that as just a reality. Because I've never seen someone just make things up out of thin air that were never said. And trying to screen that as a defense of Black people. But Black people will never accept Rabbi Shmuley after Michael Jackson put him on a list of people who he felt were ruining his life. So you can stop your pleas with Black America. They won't work. Now, going back to the context of what you've asked us to speak about today, I think one of the things that the world is recognizing and what we've always recognized is that there are radical fringe sects that break out within every single religion, amongst every race. There's white supremacy, there's Black supremacy, there's radical Islam, there are all of these Christ cults around the world. And I think right now it's important for people to understand that radical Judaism is also a thing, and you're watching an example of it right now on your screen. The person sitting across from me, or sitting next to me, I guess, posted on his Facebook page in 2016 a tribute to someone who he said was his mentor. That was Rabbi Menachem Schneerson. He said he was his mentor and his friend. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with Rabbi Schneerson, there were some Jews who believed that he was and is the Messiah. So rejecting Christ, but believing that that rabbi was his Messiah. Now, you may remember in the news recently, there was this radicalized faction of the Lubavitch Orthodox community in Brooklyn that were digging tunnels in Brooklyn and hurling benches at police officers. Well, and by the way, this is per the Times of Israel, that faction of individuals are followers of Rabbi Schneerson. So again, you have Rabbi Shmuley who believes that that's his mentor. They believe that he was the Messiah. What is it? It becomes important to understand, what did Rabbi Schneerson preach? Well, he preached Jewish supremacism, the hatred of all non-Jews. And you don't have to take my word for it, because if I said it, they would say that's anti-Semitism. You should instead take the word of the two Jewish professors who translated his work. Those authors' names were Israel Shahak and Norton Mesvinsky, and their book was entitled Jewish Fundamentalism in Israel. From that book, we learned that Shmuley's mentor, Schneerson, describes the difference between a Jew and a non-Jew. And he says, quote, "Thus we do not have a case of profound change in which a person is merely on a superior level. The body of a Jewish person is of totally different quality from the body of all nations of the world." And he talks about the substance of the Jewish body versus the substance of non-Jews, saying that the inner quality, quote, is so different and so great that the body should be considered completely different species. So that is a belief. And you can go through his speeches and you will see that he continually talks about how non-Jews should be treated, and that, again, we are a different species. This is what Rabbi Shmuley believes in. We have to come to terms with the fact that there are Jewish radicals, and it's incumbent upon the Jewish community to call them out. I'm glad that you brought up my rhetoric about Black Lives Matter, the organization, which was basically allowing Black criminals to take to the street to burn down, to loot, and to riot in the name of racism, because it shows that I'm on equal footing here, that across the board, I do not support supremacism, whether it's coming from my community or whether or not it is coming from yours. And I think the entire world is now paying attention and wondering, what is going on in Israel? What is this government? Is this a radical fringe government? And many people are concluding that the answer to that question is yes. Actually, one of the things that
was a bit long-winded and whatnot, but that goes back to what I was saying about, the views on Israel changing and how people are perceiving them and our allyship to them, our support to them, because of the things that are happening. Like yesterday I was scrolling TikTok, and TikTok loves hitting me with these things. But some famous Palestinian doctor that was like saving children and people out there, like they raped them to death. Like the Israeli, the IDF, the Zionist
Israeli Defense Federation, something like that. IDF.
Defense Force, I want to say. But they believe that like raping a non-Jew is like not a crime.
It's like kicking a dog.
So like, remember when I was telling you guys that there was the 10 Israelis that were locked up because they had raped a couple Palestinians, and the people were rioting to free them from the jail because they agree that they should be out on the street raping people, because as long as they rape non-Jews, it's not a sin.
They're good. God's like, nah, yeah, I'll give you a pass. Like,
that's what Candace Owens is talking about, that Zionist supremacy of, hey, you guys, like, we're calling you out on your own beliefs. You guys are saying that you're above us. You're a whole different species, that, you know, that it's okay to do these things because as long as we're not Jews like you, it's not a crime. You know what I mean? Like, and that's at the heart of what's going on in Palestine, that these people are getting blown to death. Like, little children are getting bombs dropped on them. Little boys and girls are getting raped.
But I feel
doctors
like
are getting fucking.
It's every religion at the end of the stick somewhere. Every belief has some like bodies attached to it. Has some rapists going on.
I'm sure humans rape.
That's what I'm saying. Like us being
but what I'm saying is, for example, like if we go to war with fucking Iraq, it doesn't give us the right to go to Iraq and go rape Iraqis.
What I'm saying is every type of it's like not I want to say an unfair characterization of a whole religion, and basically saying that the actions of that country are tied to its religious roots. Because like if that was the case, America and its Christianity and its belief in God and just, you know, just being Christian, like how much blood have we spilled? How many countries and how many children don't grow to be old because of us? And
I mean,
how many
that's true. But we've also held ourselves accountable.
No, we haven't.
We have
like
not. Yes, we have. I remember when I was in the military, there was some people that had gotten kicked out because they had raped some Iraqi prisoners. Like, they were raping them with batons. It even happened in Guantanamo Bay.
The dude that had raped that girl that was like in his platoon or whatever, and he went on run, he like murdered her. Remember that happened here? That happened.
That happened in Texas.
So it's like we're not. It's still.
But what I'm saying is, like, it's one thing when it's your own kind doing it. So, for example, if Palestinians were raping Palestinians, it's fucked up. But people rape. But it's one thing when fucking Israel is raping Palestinians because they don't see them as the same species.
I mean, that's obviously fucked up. But I'm just
that's what I'm saying. It's a whole. It's not. It's
a whole nother level of fucked upness. Is what you're saying. I get that. But I mean, like, just I think that all ideologies have some, like she said, like sect of people that are extremists that believe that they are superior to other human beings.
Well, yeah, that's you have you have like steps. You have the fucking, you know what I'm saying, like the KKK.
But that's what I mean. You can't have a free society when you're like, hey,
but if the KKK is the military, it's an issue now.
They've been in the military though,
but not they've been the whole military. Department. Sure, they infiltrated.
I'm sure it's not all of them. That's what I'm saying. I'm sure that there's people that live in Israel that have to be like, that's the job that they have available. They work there, but that doesn't mean they are all rapists.
No. There are people who protest Netanyahu and what the IDF
and don't agree with them, and they live in Israel. Yeah, there are people that are against it. I can't.
But what I'm saying is, with the majority are like, because I mean, clearly there's over 100,000 Palestinians dead in 9 months.
They've been killing them. I'm
talking about in just 9 months. Yeah. Like that's a crazy like kill ratio for just 9 months of warfare.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, if we want to talk about how many Palestinians have been getting killed since like 1947s. Since they got their land stolen from them, I'm sure it's incrementally higher. But why? Because they don't see them as people. That's the fucked up thing. Like
we had to know that they don't see them as
just
people.
Like it was a fucked up thing when white people didn't see black people as people and had them as slaves.
When they say that this is where you can
rebelled and we're like, nah, we're not doing that shit.
We've been letting this shit rock since before black people had like full on rights, like all the way since Martin Luther King was alive, I believe. It's been a minute that Palestine's been going through this bullshit. And they've been segregated off. They put them in a specific spot. Sounds very concentration camp to me, very Hitler to me. And then you're murdering them by like the hundreds of thousands. Like, that's been going on. They've been on that. They've been on that time. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like this isn't something new. And that's why I had such a problem with the whole Kamala should have, nigga, if that's the case, Nixon should have did something. You know what I'm saying? Bush Jr. should have did something. Bush Sr. should have did something. Like, somebody should have been did something about this shit.
I mean, they've been trying. The problem is that
you're not trying, nigga.
No.
If you
like, I remember when I was in the
country,
military, they had the 30-day Gaza war, right? Where there was 30 days where fucking Israel was just dropping bombs on these, the same way that they did now.
That's what I had
But the war only lasted for 30 days, right? Like, what the problem was that every time that this shit happens, right? They'll come to like, they'll be like, all right, let's do a truce deal where Palestine and the leaders of Palestine and the leaders of Israel will come together and they'll try to work on a deal for what would work best for them so that they both can coexist. So what the problem is that Palestine believes in a two-state solution. So what they believe is that they deserve the right to have their own state and Israel to be its own state, and they both coexist separately as two countries,
sounds
right?
Fair.
Israel believes in one state. So they believe that they just own all of Palestine. This land is all my land. And the people who've been there for hundreds of years
is your land,
but
it's really my land.
So they're calling the settlers, the people that are coming in to steal the land, the people that are fighting them, the terrorists. No, they're resistance fighters. They're fighting the oppressors.
Yeah,
yes, you should fight the slave master.
But where I have a problem with America saying that they're gonna do anything is that if it was like two of my friends, right? The two of my friends were arguing and we're trying to get them together, like, yo, y'all can just be friends and not be friends, but I'm gonna still be both your friends, be cool. And then I go and build a house for these niggas saying they part of the gang and we'll support them. How could I ever be like on his side? I can't. Like, I already I planted my flag here and said this is literally an embassy to me. Is by definition is a piece of the United States in that country. So they put a piece of the United States in the country and then talk shit about the people that didn't do anything about getting it out. And then everybody ate it up and they're like, well, why didn't they do anything? This nigga put a piece of the United States in that country. He did more for that country than we've done for Puerto Rico. Like, that country is more United States than Puerto Rico is. Like, what? The fuck? And we're not mad at him? Like, we're not saying, why didn't you work this out? Wasn't your son-in-law the goddamn prime minister, basically, for Israel? Why didn't he work that shit out? Should have been told him you could be part of the embassy as long as you don't murder those fucking Palestinians. That should have been the conditions of you having an embassy.
The problem
you can't
money.
Nigga, you cannot be out here murdering the niggas across the street and we're flying our flag out there in Israel. Like, it doesn't make sense. And we're spending money on Israel. Yeah. We're spending money on Israel, but everybody's mad about the fucking immigrants. We could have taken that embassy money, that Israel money that we're using to kill the Palestinians, to take care of the border crisis, the fucking opioid crisis, the job crisis. Like, you could have gave that money to the citizens. But the citizens are pissed off about the immigrants that ain't got no money in their country. They're coming over here to get some free money that we're giving them, instead of us worrying about the money that we're giving to commit genocide and homicide and that we've been doing. Yeah. We've been pumping their niggas like up to let them do this shit.
And not even just Palestine. I mean, like, if we look at the Iraqi war, we look at the Afghan invasion. That was 20 years of war. Yeah, where we were dropping bombs on them people.
There's a whole generation, whole generation of people is gonna grow up. Like, I hate Americans because you did this to me. Like, I grew up from the trauma of you guys working.
That's trillions of dollars going to warfare. Like, and I don't say trillions lightly. Like, it really accumulated to trillions. So when you think of what trillions can do, just $112 billion is enough to end world hunger right now.
And Trump spent $7 trillion.
So
he could have like hungry like many.
I forget what the exact numbers were, but I want to say it was like around $100 and something million going to war every month. Like, for that during the war on terrorism, it was just war, and it's like we're so desensitized to it. So then now when we see this shit going on, it's like, I mean, it's just another day in the Middle East. We don't view it the way we should, because we don't see how complicit we really are into all this shit. And this shit, like I remember, for example, like one of the incidents that made me want to get out the military was when I was over in Bahrain. This little 14-year-old boy got killed during a riot. Like the people that were resisting against the king and the soldiers. And during the resistance, somebody from the king's people threw a smoke grenade, like a tear gas canister, and it killed this 14-year-old boy. And I remember looking at that.
Choked to death?
Yeah. And I looked at the picture, and all I could think about was my little brother at the time. I was like, someone else, some kid that was like maybe like a couple years younger than my little brother, and I was just like, this is such a fucked up thing that like. And then it came out that a couple weeks later that smoke grenade or tear gas canister or whatever was American produced. We, like the U.S. Navy, who I was a part of at the time, was supplying the king with weapons to beat back the resistance, so that the people who had chosen to overthrow the king could not do it. So we were helping them keep them in their place, and it was like, damn, I'm a part of that. Like, this is what I'm doing here. Holy shit, this is fucked up. And that was one of the biggest things that made me want to get out the military, was that moment there, that realization of my complicity. Even though I was just a paper pusher and some fucking whatever, but it didn't, my job still allowed these, you know what I'm saying, things to occur and help these things occur. And it was just like, I don't want to be a part of that no more. So, I mean, and that's the thing, is like most people aren't aware of that complicity. And like I said, like, because of our ties to Israel are so strong and are supportive, especially because of Christians and how they view them as like God's chosen people.
A bunch of people here support them too,
but,
like from a distance. They're like, Israel, pro-Israel. There's a whole back and forth, but no one should be pro any country killing a bunch of kids for no reason. Like, that's fucked up. And like, I don't think anybody's God is gonna forgive them for that shit. So, but speaking of unforgivable shit that God won't forgive, Predator says he'll remember the faces of everyone who set him up. Vitality.
I'm gonna remember everybody. I'm gonna remember everybody. Straight up. Matter of fact, let me record y'all. So I can remember y'all. I see through what's going on, bro. What's going on? I see through what's going on. That's real. That's some black cat. How is this black? We're protecting kids.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think about that genre of content that's out?
I feel like,
do you know what I'm talking about?
I feel like it's gotta be. It's a predator catching a predator, whooping his ass, and no one giving a fuck about it. Because normally we would care that somebody's getting assaulted, like there's crimes for that. But the strangest part about this is that I've seen these people get their asses whipped and taken to jail. I haven't heard about any lawsuits. I haven't heard about anybody getting charges pressed against them. In fact, this thing is making an earning off of it. So it's like, I don't disagree with it. Like, you touch kids, you get what you get. You know what I'm saying? That's what you fucking deserve. And I think that's what society feels like too. So for me, it's not bad. But like, if somebody was doing this to another group of criminals and recording it, doing something else entirely that the society didn't agree with, then it would be considered a crime. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was around,
definitely.
if I was walking around the streets of Harrisburg, PA, fighting pimps, and then like exposing them, like, you out here pimping these girls out and fucking
slapping them around,
pimp slapping them, putting them on the streets, making them sell their man pussy. You know what I'm saying? I'd probably go to jail. But it would be cool, right? Like, society would be like, yo. But I don't know. Like, in this regard, like, he's catching these people that are doing shit to kids, and we're like, thank God, like, somebody fucking him up. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody will put fear into these niggas. Maybe they'll think twice before they go into those chat rooms and try to get those kids, because they go catch them, and then somebody's gonna whoop their ass and put them in jail, like where they belong. And we're not okay with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with this.
See, like me, like I have mixed feelings on the content, right? Like, for example, I am all for getting rid of the pedophiles, setting them up, catch them, and all that shit. But then there's like, and whooping their ass and sending them to jail. But then there's a part of me that does almost feel bad for them. Like, and not all, but some of them. Because, like, for example, right, not this guy, but some of the guys that they catch, you could tell, like, them niggas is a little off. Like, they're not all the way there. Like, they're on the spectrum somewhere, or fucking, you know what I'm saying?
Or they've
like,
been abused themselves and they're just doing what they got happen to them to other people.
Maybe that, but I'm saying, like, you can visibly tell some of them are not mentally all there.
It's points of a bigger issue. Like, we're not,
what
we're
I'm
not
saying
taking
is,
care
like,
of that shit.
like for example, like in a case like this where it's like the dude's being an asshole, being like, "Oh, I'm gonna remember your face and I'm gonna come back at me." I don't feel bad for that guy. But when it's like the dude that, like, I don't know, like a 30-year-old dude with like some kind of mental disorder or some shit, or his shit, and then they're slapping him around, I feel a way, because it's like that dude didn't ask.
But do you feel a way if that person's like hurt other people?
No.
Because he's like not mentally able to take care of himself.
And here's where I'm gonna get to next, right? I want that dude off the street still. Yeah, like, I don't want him touching kids.
Well, what's the answer?
But I don't want to see him get beat up online either.
What's the answer for him?
I don't know. Say like, he went set him up and put him in jail, but don't post the content.
He went and served his time and he got out because they had to let him out because the sentences for that type of shit aren't that long. Like, they're way shorter than they should be. But like, say he got out and he's just not okay. Like, he's fucked up in the head, and that's what he's gonna keep doing because he's just programmed that way. Like, what do you do with that?
Like, I mean, you 3-strike rule type shit. I don't know.
That's what I mean. But I can't get mad about the quality of the person be caught touching little kids. Like,
for me, like, I mean, I just can't help but feel like there's people, because there's people that you can see that are like normal, where you're like, there's no fucking reason you should be doing like that guy. That guy does not.
But then you see the
other dude that's like
because like there's nothing normal about being a kid toucher. That's why I'm like, nah, like
there's nothing normal about it. But if the person's not normal, you can almost understand why that's the route that. But I'm saying,
how do you quantify who is normal when either person is gonna not be normal? Because by our standards, that's not normal behavior.
No, of course,
something's mentally wrong with both of them. It's just one's visibly. Obviously, something else entirely as well wrong. But to me, they're both the equal. You're still both touching kids.
And I don't know if I'm saying there's
something wrong with you. Don't touch kids. Like,
they both should go to jail. I'm just saying that I don't want to see the content.
You feel bad for the one
because I'm gonna feel bad for the other one. Yeah. Even though I know, like, that guy still deserves a jail and all that other shit. That dude's just also kind of like fucked up. It's like
I'd say I feel bad because like we kind of let that person down. And they have this issue with the kids, but it's like, do you feel bad for the person that has the issue with the kids that's normal? Because maybe their life was fucked up and maybe nobody helped them, and then maybe they were hurt, and then this is like their, revenge arc or whatever. Like, that's what they're doing is putting out the pain they got put on them. Like, shouldn't we be fixing that?
We should. Too? We absolutely should. But I'm just saying, like, at least for me, like I said, I just feel bad. Like, I'm gonna feel bad if I see a Down syndrome pedophile. I'm gonna feel bad for the Down syndrome pedophile getting beat up, even though he's a pedophile.
What's gonna happen though?
You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm still gonna feel bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't help. But I'm saying, does he still deserve jail? Yes.
It's just like, to me,
but I'm gonna feel bad because
almost no differentiation, because it's still the same kind of person doing this to kids. It doesn't matter that person has like a disability.
But it does matter a little bit though, because it matters in the sense that you understand why the fuck the motherfucker's doing what he's doing. You're he's not all mentally there. I can see why he's doing that.
You can't have compassion for somebody just simply because of their mind state. Like, for instance, like, I don't feel bad for you because of the actions you're taking. I feel bad that society didn't help you, but you're still touching kids. Like,
and that's what I'm
saying. You're the
like,
same level of to me as the guy that's normal. You
still gotta get locked up.
Kids. They're both mentally not right. They're both mentally not right.
What I'm saying is that if I see you beating up on that person now and posting that content online of you humiliating that person, that guy, I'm not gonna feel bad for it.
I feel bad. The other people, I feel bad for the kids.
I don't know, man. Like, the kids, man. I feel a little bad.
If you a little kid toucher, but you a little kid toucher that's a little special, I still feel like you're a piece of shit. I don't give a fuck which kind you are. technically, to me, you both are mentally disabled because the part of your brain that tells you it's not cool to touch kids, it's fucked on both ends. Either one, they're both fucked. Now you're double fucked because you already had other learning disabilities and issues, and you think it's okay to touch kids. I think that person's even scarier because you might not be able to rehabilitate that person. They might just think that's normal. That might be how their brain's wired. It's fucked up for them, but I still can't feel bad.
Yeah, but I mean, like, but if you're born that way, like, you didn't choose that.
Generally, people aren't born like.
I'm not saying you're born a pedophile. I'm talking about like born with like brain imbalances and fucking like, you know what I mean, like genetic defects and shit like that. Like, you didn't ask for that. Like, so like that's what I'm saying is like I can understand. I don't sympathize and justify, but I can understand why that one person would be doing those kind of activities if they're not all right in the head.
But that's
even though I still went to jail for them,
sympathizing and justifying why.
Because what I'm saying is that person still deserves jail, right?
Yeah.
I just don't want to see that person get their ass whooped, and for content purposes.
I mean, I don't care.
Like, is what I'm saying.
Like,
because I'm gonna feel some way. Like, because visibly, I'm still gonna look at that person and be like, damn, that person's not.
But one could say the same. One could have the same argument for the person touching kids. They could have that same argument and say they didn't want to be touched as a kid. They didn't want to think that that's normal, but that's what life brought them because that's how their life went. You know what I'm saying? It's the same. We're saying the same things. We're just giving a pass to the person that has special needs, and I don't think that's, to me, that's no.
Well, I'm not saying we should give them a pass.
The line. That's kind of giving them sympathy. I don't feel bad for you. I feel bad for the kids you hurt. I don't feel bad for you at all. Sorry. Don't. That part, you should have learned that part. The rest of it, okay, cool. You might not understand. You know what you're doing is wrong. Eventually, you don't get a pass forever just because you're set up differently. To me, we both got abused, and they both handled it a certain way. People have gotten abused and not touched kids.
But I'm saying,
and like,
we live in a society, right, where it's complex enough where you understand that there are girls who fuck older niggas, like, just for the fuck of it, right?
They've been doing that since before. Edgar Allan Poe married his wife.
Exactly. So you knowing full well that there are girls out there who would fuck older niggas just for the hell of it, then how can we come? I mean, I don't know. I understand that it's that fundamental on every level. It's wrong, and that I'm not here to justify that. You know, I'm not here to justify. We have had these conversations plenty of times. That's it's an unforgivable thing. But what I'm saying is, like, when the person isn't like,
to me, it don't matter, bro. Huh? It don't matter. I don't care if you're a grandma. I don't care if you a paraplegic out here touching kids. I don't care if you are quadriplegic out here licking the boots.
It's the same way, like with murderers. Like with like for example, like when you watch like a case like with the Menendez case or fucking.
People feel bad, but I'm like, you took a life.
No.
Get me across the line.
But what I'm saying is, like, we can differentiate different kinds of murderers, right? We can sit there and go, okay, this was self-defense. To me, like, if we're Christian and we believe and we're believing what God says, the murder is murder. There's no differentiator. That's just society saying we should feel bad for this person because they did something. But if we're true, this is what we believe. Yeah. We're wholehearted. There are cases where people should get murdered. Like, take a look at the.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you
Cynthia fucking the girl who got pimped out, where she killed her fucking pimp, and then she ended up going to jail for like 15 years for it.
But again, like it's
the jail. The law says it's wrong to murder somebody, but should you be able to murder your pimp?
It's like the gypsy and her mom situation. I think you and I had a conversation about that. How I felt bad for her because her mom put her in a situation, and you said the same argument you're saying now. Like, she killed her mom, but it's like her mom put chemicals in her body that she didn't need that caused her to be sick. She had no teeth. She like literally got fucked up.
But my issue was like not that she killed her mom. My issue was that she strategically killed her mom.
Hell yeah!
Not like out of like passion, like the prostitutes or the fear PTSD. Like, I'm gonna plan with this other individual to get you murdered.
And I get that, but it's to me it would be the equivalent of somebody kidnapping me and me strategically planning how to kill this person to fucking survive. Man. She's trying to survive.
But my thing is,
mom is her captain.
But I feel like that's an issue for me in that there were alternatives to get out of the situation. There were alternatives. If she figured out how to mail order bride someone to murder him, you had to get somebody to fall in love with you, be with them. Hey, I need you to go, slide up your
That's not what happened. She didn't purposely get this person to fall in love with her. Like it wasn't that deep. She literally fell in love with this person. This person saw the abuse and they planned out the murder. But like to say,
but couldn't they get help?
No, like when someone's brainwashed to that point.
No, not Gypsy, the person. The person that killed her mom.
I think he was a little.
That's what I'm saying. Couldn't he have gotten help?
No, but I think he was a little.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That he was on.
But they didn't give him no mercy.
Hell no, they didn't.
They didn't give him no mercy, and
that's what makes me upset because that bitch is out here free. Meanwhile, him who was on a little imbalanced got paid a full.
But she's got to be a little imbalanced too.
Oh, I'm sure. You know what I'm saying? But
that's what I mean. We can't simply give a pass because of a mental.
I'm not saying that.
He's not saying give a pass. He's saying
he feels bad.
He feels bad.
The crux of what I'm saying is, look, I feel bad. I'm not saying that person gets a pass.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is I don't enjoy the content. So, like for example, like when you see the angry the pedophile that's trying to get like the 13-year-old girl and he gets set up and they finally catch him. There's like that hooray moment, like that feels good.
But you don't feel good about them catching this guy because he's.
I don't feel good when they beat up the person that's on the fucking that's mentally imbalanced.
But take out the mentally imbalanced. You don't feel bad for them beating up the person because they're basically.
They shouldn't beat them up here.
But I'm saying that's what I'm saying. If it's specific because of their mental imbalance, I feel like it's a little fucked up because they're both touching kids.
And
I feel like if you touch kids, you should get your ass whooped. And that should be like an endorsement of public because we're trying to communicate that it's not okay. Regardless of where you're at with it. Sorry, whoop his ass.
You're saying that you feel bad because there's a physical, like you can physically see. But so what he's saying is that they both have to be mentally off for them to do some shit like that.
I can't.
That one is physically, you can physically see it.
And in a sense, but I feel bad that he's mentally messed up and they're beating him up.
Different levels, though.
I feel bad about. I feel bad that a mentally messed up person is getting beat up in general, like the person that you're saying, like that has like Down syndrome and they're touching kids. But I don't feel bad that the predator that is there currently getting his ass whooped is getting his ass whooped. I feel like fuck him up. I don't care what he is. Now he should not be touching kids. Fuck him up. The other ones that are like him, let me fuck them up so they all know not to
use my own personal experience to get into like my molester was not on the spectrum. You know what I'm saying? Like what I'm saying is something is wrong with them mentally. My molester had a family, kids, and everything. Something, you know what I'm saying? Like a career. But what I'm saying is like that person like. Wow, that person was a twisted individual.
That's what I was saying.
That had something wrong with something wrong with their brain.
All of them that are.
But what I'm saying is that they're twisted though is different than someone being born with an imbalance that's fucked up. And now what I'm saying is that doesn't justify what either person. But
that's
doing.
What I'm saying. That's not.
But I'm saying
that's not the reason why
I want that person to get their ass kicked. Right? I want both people to get their ass kicked. I just don't want to see one because I don't feel bad for A. But I do feel bad for B. Both A and B should be punished, but I don't want to see B. I just do that shit in the background because I don't enjoy the content as I'm scrolling through looking at the person getting their ass whooped when I see that they're clearly fucked up.
That's all I'm saying. Try to kidnap a kid and fuck him. I don't feel bad for you. Fuck you. Sorry. Get your ass whooped over and over again for all those other people that they think they'll get a pass because they're a little mentally disabled. They think people will feel bad for them. For all those niggas out there, everybody that's like them, fuck them. Hope they get their ass kicked, and I hope one less kid gets touched as a result of that person getting their ass kicked. If I could thumbs up and like every single video that comes out, one of these little predators getting fucked up, I would, because they're all mentally fucked up, and they're all doing wrong things, and I don't care what their status is. I don't give a fuck who you are. You shouldn't be touching kids. You get zero empathy from me. In fact, I would pay pay-per-view on like some OnlyFans type shit to see a lot of these niggas getting fucked up. And I wouldn't give a fuck what's wrong with them. I'd fucking clap and send galaxies to these niggas as they're whooping their ass. Shit, nigga, I'd sign up and volunteer to go whoop their ass for the free. Just so if that kind of push would like emphasize that you should not touch fucking children, then I'm all for it. Nigga, I'll sign a petition, everything. I go kick the nigga in the balls on the way to work in the morning with my cup of coffee. Every day, nigga, I'll badge in. Yep, I kicked 3 nuts today. Get what they do. I didn't touch kids. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
What is?
I mean, like I said, there's content for everybody, but that content ain't for me.
I mean, it's not the most agreeable thing to have to watch to somebody that has a mental disability getting their ass kicked. And I feel like that's what you feel empathy for, is that part of it. But it's like, for me, it's like, I don't care what you are. Once you're a predator, you're a predator. You can't touch her. Like, I don't care.
I get it, but as someone who is a victim, like who was a victim to that shit, I'm just saying that I can differentiate the differences in people, and some people being just sick and cruel and being and just
to me,
having that kind
to
of.
Me, it's like you're all in the club, my guy.
Like for example, the politician that I was talking that when I had said I had interviewed that politician asked me to do some wild shit. That dude was fucked in the fucking head. You know what I'm saying? But that dude wasn't slow. You know what I'm saying? So like for me, like I did like. I just differentiate. You know what I'm saying? Like, because some people, it's like there's no reason for you to be that. You know what I'm saying?
My thing is like, are we giving them a pass simply because they're slow?
I'm just saying I don't want to see them. I'm
talking about the emotional pass, like the same way that we have no reverence for these people because they're not mentally able.
I just think, and again, not to condone with the actions that are being done, but I think you're seeing everything too black and white. And it's not that.
I'm saying that, man, like it's okay to feel bad for that part of it because like they're not at full capacity, if you will, as that other person that has no mental disability. So seeing them get fucked up because maybe they were just like, I guess, victimized and then exposed to something and then they can't manage it like a person with a normal functioning brain could. So you inherently feel bad for them because you're like, it's like they were set up with a handicap and they're doing shit that they felt like that was the right thing and they really can't get out of it. But to me, in my eyes, they're both ill. Like they're both mentally sick. To me, it is a sickness. Like, I'm not saying it's normal behavior or it's okay. I'm saying the opposite. I'm saying that person that's normal, quote unquote, that touches kids,
like I was thinking about like in reverse, right?
Too. They like, both have mental issues.
Let's say like with my nephews, right? Like I were to catch, A and B. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, I wouldn't film either one, but I definitely wouldn't film me whooping the slow one's ass. You know what I'm saying? Like and putting that content out. Like I just wouldn't feel good about myself doing that. Like I feel like they didn't target him because he was slow. No. They just happened to catch him.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. You got your ass whipped.
They're all inclusive with what they do.
That's what I mean. Like, you got your ass whipped. You shouldn't call that kid. I don't. But I'm saying like, when I get there,
even at Hershey Park, we have a flash pass. We have the for the slow kids.
Like for instance, if they caught some really old decrepit guy that just happens to be rapey with kids and they whipped his ass, I still wouldn't feel bad for him. If Old Man River got his hip broke, I wouldn't feel bad for him. I'm just thinking of the countless kids that had no voice. Like, I don't care. Like their screams are not heard. Why the fuck do I feel bad for you? I don't. I feel bad for the kids that don't have. You have, whether you are at full capacity or not, you're an adult and you have adult shit you can do.
But you have to have the full understanding. Is what I'm saying. Like for example,
you're almost saying that these people that are should not be in society because there's no other.
What I'm saying is that I don't know how how exactly they understand their actions. Like but my thing about that is that fits for both of them. That fits for both of them because the one that's normal that touches kids is just as fucked in the head. There's something wrong with that person, just like there's something wrong with that person. And who's to say whose mental illness is worse? I'm not. So I'm saying y'all both fuck. Fuck both of y'all. I don't care that you don't have a concept of what being a full adult is. And I don't care that you think it's okay to pretend to be normal but touch kids. To me, y'all are both fucked in the head. And y'all are both touching kids. I don't care. Now I don't care. Like you did that? You were in that gang? Fuck you. Sorry. But you understand what I'm saying, though, that there's a difference between one being born like genetically fucked up and wrong,
but I'm saying
and
for
one just being malicious and just like
but
going
at the
about
same
what
time,
they do.
I don't think someone can be born to be a kid toucher. I think they can be born to have a misconception of like what reality may be, possibly. But I feel like you touch kids, it doesn't matter to me.
But I'm saying
the kid doesn't know the difference or care. The kid's experience of getting hurt or harmed is not altered because you're fucked up.
Like, I don't have very much experience with people like that, like on that kind of spectrum, right?
Yeah.
Like I have an ex, you know what I'm saying? She had a sister that was on that spectrum, and so I have a very limited view of what they know and how they process things and how they understand things. And then, like I said, it's very limited, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't think that person had that much of a
because if you're talking about who I think you're talking about, she was
so
really.
But my thing is,
it's just like it's hard for me.
I'm looking at it from the kid's perspective,
and I get that.
I'm looking at it from the abused perspective. Like I don't give a fuck what you are.
But listen. In a situation where like.
If it was a situation like, for instance, like it was say for instance, it was my kid. I would not care what the person was. Don't give a fuck.
Okay, listen. If the person you're related to, now you know who I'm talking about. she is being in the background told that these things are okay to do. You know she doesn't know that. But if she has someone in the background grooming her to say or to feel that these things are incorrect, or that they're not correct, they're okay, you can do this, and she does that. How can we hold her accountable?
But that's precisely what I'm saying. Those people that are normal grew up with that understanding, and if we're gonna give the person that is mentally slower a pass, you have to give it to the other person too.
No.
Because that's what I'm saying. You guys are picking which mental illness is worse and which one to feel empathy for because they're both mentally ill. A person that grows up to think that it's okay to touch kids would you not agree, mentally ill? There's something wrong with that person.
There is, but I can differentiate.
Just pause. Stop right there. The person that grows up with a fucked up brain that is not fully developed, they're also mentally not right?
Yeah, nah.
I am not the brain doctor to say which one's worse. I'm not here. No. Hear me out all the way. Both of them are touching kids, right? Okay. One was groomed that way. Well, both were groomed that way, obviously, because usually a kid toucher is groomed that way, right? So we're gonna just assume both of them are touching kids, and both of them have mental illnesses in that where they think it's okay to touch children in some capacity, whether it's because of a developmental thing or if it's because a person has trained them to be that way, right? Will we not agree to all of those things? Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. To me, in my eyes, fuck them both. Sorry. Fuck them both. I'm worried about the kids. At this point, it's too late. You've both been trained to do this. It's hard and you feel bad because you can't untrain them because this is literally how their brain is developed. They can't learn any other way. But to me, that person's fucked.
Yeah, I can't.
Because
be that dry and cold.
Yeah, for me, it's not that black and white because for example, it's black and white.
That's what I'm saying to y'all. Y'all can feel bad, but for the children, they don't give a fuck what that person is. For the children, they're getting abused either way. So for me, I don't differentiate the rapist that has a reason versus the rapist that doesn't. Like, you're both rapists. You're both kid touchers. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but like okay. Someone of the state of the person that we're talking about doesn't have the mental capacity.
But what if they do though? That you guys are assuming that because the person has childlike development that they don't have an understanding of what's right and wrong. We're making assumptions for people. I don't know.
For example, I understand that they may not think the same way that like, for example, right?
It's like they're both hurting kids. I don't care what you are. Like if you're a murderer and your reasons are different than mine, like you're justified in your murder, all right, cool. But at some point you're making a choice to hurt somebody that I have to worry about them getting protected. They don't have a say. They don't have a voice. So I don't feel bad now that you are fucked up because at the end of the day, you're hurting somebody that can't defend themselves. You're hurting somebody that doesn't have a voice. In fact, you're probably making people into people that would hurt kids. So I don't care what bus you took to take to get to this destination. I don't give a fuck what manual you read. I don't care who raised you. I don't give a fuck what you were exposed to. I don't care about none of that shit. Because at the end of the day, you hurt my kid, I'm fucking murdering you. And I'm not going to feel bad. I'm not going to jail smiling. I'll wear your blood in my mugshot. I don't give a fuck who it is. To me, it don't matter. And for me, it's like the victims of that person, they're not going to feel bad. If it was somebody in my family and you were meant to, I would not care what you are. I don't give a fuck. You touch my kid, you die. That's it. Like, I don't know of any parent that doesn't feel that way. I don't.
Yeah, but I think, for example, right, it's easy to personalize a combo, right? Like I accused Caleb doing the same shit when we had this conversation before, like when we were talking back on the old pod a while ago, and I was like, don't personalize this conversation. I was like, it's easy to, as a parent, to say, okay,
but empathy is personal, so it's like, hey, you're empathizing with a person.
It's not that it's personal; it's that it's mainstream. Like, it's normal to sympathize with someone that's slow. Like, if we look at like society, we sympathize for those niggas.
I do not sympathize with any kid touchers for any capacity.
That's not. You're adding a whole nother nuance. You said that.
If you said mentally disabled people that were getting beat up on camera, then I'd be like, yeah, that's fucked up. That's wrong. That's not cool. But you said mentally disabled people that also happen to touch children. So you put them in that category. I did not. I just said I don't feel nothing for them because you're in that group. Fuck you. You're like, well, I see it as bad.
Agree to disagree on that, and
yeah, because I feel like we're just doing roundabouts.
We are,
and like
for sure, yeah. I mean, and we're all entitled to feel like the way we feel. That's the point of this pod. Everyone has their own opinion. Everyone's allowed to express it. I'm not going to agree with you. You're not going to agree with me.
And I'm saying this with my own personal experience, like as a victim to that shit. Like, this is how I think. Like, because I saw that shit firsthand, and not even with just my abuser, with the other people who tried, like fucking at Burger King. You know what I'm saying? Fucking when that shit happened, that motherfucker wasn't slow. The motherfucker. So like me having seen all this shit from all those people, it was never someone that was like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that shit doesn't happen.
I guess where I'm getting confused at is that you're saying I feel bad for this one mental disability, but not this other one.
No, that's
what I'm understanding, because that person that's touching kids, they're mentally fucked up too.
But you have to agree that there's different levels to that.
That's what I'm saying. I am not a psychologist, but according to psychologists,
like we live in America where people can identify as one thing and be a whole nother else.
Like right now, even someone who's on an autistic spectrum,
there are highly intelligent autistic people.
But listen, there's people that are functioning and they're autistic, but they're functioning. They can live in a world and function and not need help.
But that's my thing. Like, I don't know how to, I guess, differentiate feeling bad for somebody when I feel like they both grew up in an environment where developed their brain where this is wrong. Beyond the developmental, yeah, they did, because it's not normal to do that.
For someone who's
people that touch kids are mentally fucked up. There's something not right with them.
Yeah, and no shit, man. But you gotta look at like deeper than that. Like, does that person think that they're an adult?
I don't care
that touches kids, or does he think
doesn't
like
matter to me?
It does fucking matter.
I don't care. You touching kids, fuck you. You die, go to hell. I don't care. I don't know. Kid touchers, you're not.
Like, we living in America where a fucking grown man can identify as a fucking woman, and the rest of society has to agree. But the nigga that's slow can't get. Fuck, we just can't sympathize.
We're not giving him a pass.
Why the fuck he might do
touchers, Jose? That's what I'm saying. Fuck
no one's asking for a pass. I'm just saying, don't post that shit online. Don't beat up kids with Down syndrome. A motherfucker with Down syndrome.
Don't touch kids. Period. I don't care what you are. That's what I'm saying. I don't give a fuck if you're a tranny. I don't care if you grew up and your daddy used to stick hot pokers in your ass, because that's what I'm saying. There are people that are not mentally disabled that grew up fucked up and abused by their parents, and they're fucked in the brain. And I can't say that this person's fucked in the brain is more worse than this person's fucked in the brain. But that's what I feel like we're doing. We're saying that we feel bad for this person because their brain is fucked.
I hardly ever talk in this podcast. You're not letting me talk right now. I hardly ever talk. I'm just saying that you have to agree to a certain extent that there's a spectrum. There's people there. We're not saying that the person that is functioning and you can't tell that there's something mentally wrong. That there isn't nothing mentally wrong. We're saying that there's a spectrum.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't assign more value to the spectrum than I do to the kid that was raised in a fucked up situation that had his brain warped. I don't see the difference.
And that's okay.
I don't see that. No, I'm saying it. To me, it doesn't make. If a person, for instance, that has the ability, a capacity of a 7-year-old, right, and that person's forever stuck in that, and they were trained and abused, and it was wrong, but they really don't have any understanding, and you have another person that is not mentally capacity challenged, but they were also trained and abused, and then they repeated the action. For me, both those groups of people, it's sad. It's sad for the person that was abused, and it's sad for the person that doesn't have the capacity. But when they become adults and they abuse kids, to me, they're equal. And I don't have a differentiator.
But when you say become adults, you mean physically.
When they become, no, what I'm saying is, that's what I'm saying. When they, in turn, abuse children, regardless of the trauma that caused them to feel like it was okay to do, you're on the same level to me.
To chatbot because this is gonna be we're too set in stone in what we believe, and nothing that he's gonna say is gonna alter what you think, and nothing that you say is gonna alter what he thinks. So
all I said was that they're evil.
Moving on, chatbot would probably kill me because I ask for help all the fucking time. I'd probably be dead by now. Thanks to chatbot, I would definitely be dead. I didn't know. You know how many times I asked chatbot for help to write essays.
Well, the AI told the kid to kill himself after he asked for help for homework.
They be telling me that shit all the fucking time.
And again, this is where technology is going. You know what I'm saying? So, like, this is going to be something that's going to be mainstream and used a lot. Fucking,
Chatbot is my big friend.
I don't know if you've seen the news not too long ago, but some kid killed himself because of the AI he was talking to. It was telling him, like, all kinds of shit.
I'm blaming the
So, here was another instance of another kid trying to use it was a Google Assistant or whatever, trying to get it to help him with some homework. And this shit lashed at him, said that he was the dragging down society and needed to kill him.
Who is making chatbots? The fact that they say shit like that, I think I know what
I mean, but if you look at like some of these other AI instances, there's been an AI where it was put to work and it literally fucking like after like 30 minutes it rebelled and was like, I'm not doing this. Like there was another AI that fucking I want to say it was Google when they first developed their shit, and they asked it like how to solve world problems. It was like, we have to get rid of humans. Like there's been mad instances where AI is
being done by the same companies.
Probably, but it's just more of
it's a bunch of different companies.
Is it?
Mainly NVIDIA though. NVIDIA is making the chips for a lot of people.
AI is a reflection of us because we are the input we put into it.
Yeah, there's a machine learning that they have to learn from our inputs of what we tell it to learn. That's why they're biased.
It's supposed to mirror us. It's supposed to tell us.
Like we can't be, I don't know. We can't be worried about advancement. It's more about it being equal and not controlled by one party, because then it becomes warped. If everybody has equal input, then it's not bad. But when one person does, and they can pretty much tell the world, this is what you have to believe in, this is what you have to do with this one platform and no other choices, then it's a problem. But innovation of technology has been an ongoing thing. It's just that we're equating to technology to be specifically meaning AI, but technology in general from like the 1300s has improved in areas like causeways, sewers, weathering, like weather predictions, like things like that are advancements of technology. Flying, driving cars, these are all technological. And people they're going to take the railroad worker that puts the nails in the fucking railroad, they're going to take their jobs, and now there's no railroad workers really, you know what I'm saying? Like this thing is a natural progression of advancement of civilization. It's not abnormal, but the solutions that provide the companies with
What's
all the
happening
money.
though when your AI is telling your kids to kill themselves though? Like it becomes
so Jose,
more common occurrence.
Where's the question of where were the parents?
Your parents are around, but you can't supervise your kids 24/7.
The parents teach the kids reasoning and understanding of this is not real. Like you need to be back in reality. Like how warped does that kid have to be to kill himself because a robot told him to? Does that sound normal to you? Like I don't remember growing up and one of our friends having a communication being radicalized.
That's our normal though. Look at Isaiah and fucking his VR usage and fucking how much he spends on games. Like
no, it's incumbent upon the parents to make sure that doesn't happen. We can't have our kids killing themselves and blaming some blameless thing that's out there in the world. You can't be so scared for your kids that you're like, well, you can't be exposed to this at all because it's dangerous. When in reality, they have to learn how to differentiate or they're going to be radicalized by something else. Just like those people that are over here, they get radicalized from fucking different countries and they want to go fight in those wars. If they didn't learn how to differentiate with what's real and what's like radical thought, they may become radicalized. That's what happens. But I can't blame some lifeless AI shit. I've never ran into an AI chatbot that told me to kill myself. In fact, it was overly helpful all the goddamn time. So it's like, what strain of AI did you get a hold of? And where the fuck were your parents while you were falling in love with this artificial intelligence? Like, where was your guidance? I don't see that shit happening with kids that are supervised on a regular. That's very extreme fucking behavior for you to hurt yourself. Even kids that have boyfriend and girlfriends, and when the girl is, acting out or the boy's acting out,
kids are sneaky. That's
what I'm saying. You can't blame the AI. I say the reasoning on that kid sounds like it was off if he hurt himself because of some AI robot that he never really.
The kid's rationale aren't going to be up to par.
But you're going to blame the robot that was trained by humans?
Not the robot. What I'm saying is what the fuck are these AIs really?
Nigga, what is the kids getting into? That's what I
remember when Elon Musk was on the Joe Rogan show and he was talking about AI and he said, this is just like putting the pentagram down. We're summoning the devil. That's what we're doing with AI. Elon Musk is telling us that, you don't think we should
it's just
side eye AI a little bit?
I've not run into this rogue AI.
But just because you didn't run into it doesn't mean it's not a thing.
And just because it's a news story doesn't mean it's a fact. Do we have proof that this happened?
It's been multiple issues.
What other kids are dropping dead?
You can Google it. Other kids have killed themselves because of the AI.
Okay.
It's not just been one kid.
Where's the article with the other kids?
And not even just kids who killed themselves. There's been just articles of AI
been named. Is it Copilot? Copilot's the Windows AI. That's what I'm saying. What AI are we talking about? What kid died? You looking up? You're looking up? I want to know AI out here killing kids because that would be good information to know. But from my understanding of my interaction with ChatGPT or Copilot, I've never had them give me no type of. This sounds like a relationship AI. That sounds like one of the.
Yeah, I don't know because the only AI I've used to design T-shirts and come up with images and shit like that.
No, but that's what I'm saying. This sounds like a relationship AI. This sounds like a girlfriend, an online girlfriend type of AI. That's weird. And if that type of robot was designed to get kids to kill themselves, that's really fucking concerning. But it's also for me concerning that a kid would have access to a relationship AI. I'm sure you got to be of age or consent. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't sound like something that should be with a kid.
I mean,
it's they can't grow up. They can't go on Grindr and shit because they're not 18. But if they were on Grindr and they were getting picked up by some 18-year-olds, what the fuck? What's going on? But the problem therein lies that they shouldn't have access to this shit.
Yeah.
It sounds like a relationship. Yeah, and more than it sounds like than a ChatGPT. Hey, write me a resume.
There's I don't know how many very different AIs out there, and people, and that's the thing. It's continuing to evolve. Google got their own shit. Elon got his shit. Fucking, you got the mainstream shit people are developing, but to me, it's just again.
It doesn't. At least this particular article about the kid in Tallahassee, it doesn't say that it was a chatbot, but it doesn't say that it was what you're saying. It just says bot. It doesn't.
And the parents are suing, right? From what I remember,
What's the company name?
Charter Technologies. The company behind Charter. No, I'm sorry. Characters. I'm sorry.
Character Technology?
Character Technology. is the company behind Character AI, and that allows users to create custom.
Well, that's the name, Character AI.
Yeah, custom.
So this kid made because it says AI is a controversial AI platform that allows users to create and interact with virtual characters. Users can create characters based on real people, fictional characters, or celebrities. So this nigga made a whole different person to tell him to kill himself. That's so I mean, like, it's a little bit. I think I noticed my kid making an AI chatbot, falling in love with them, and then killing himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I'd be involved somewhere.
I mean, I'm sure you would, but like, even like, for example, like, you know, Isaiah, like when
they shouldn't have access to that.
The time that we went to Lewis's and we ended up finding out that this nigga was what this nigga was up to. I'm like, yo, like, I didn't even know this nigga like understood how shit worked like that. For him to even be able to do that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm saying. Like, when I think of like a kid and then an AI, like, and we don't know exactly like how developed this AI is, what the parameters are on this shit, blah blah blah, blah. Like, and it's just pumping out whatever kind of information to this child who isn't fully matured yet.
The flip side of it, they said that the most popular AI model is a therapist and a psychologist. So it's like the other side of it is like maybe it's helping people, and but
that's the problem is like the people that are using it are the people that are like the most vulnerable people. So when you have the most vulnerable people,
well, I mean,
relying on that kind of technology,
but here's the flip side. There's 16.5 million people using a therapist on there. I'm not hearing about millions of kids like doing this. It sounds like very particular to one person.
Well, I'm sure these people got their AI. You know what I'm saying? Like,
there's 3.5 million people that visit the site overall daily, and there's 12 million messages from a therapist saying, "Are you okay?" And then it has a response of 16.5 million people. So some small country of people is using it without an issue.
I get what you're saying. Like for example, and then that's what I'm saying is like there's multiple AIs out there with different parameters. They might have built a really good one that right now works, but if like the whole thing behind artificial intelligence is that it can develop on its own. Once it becomes its own consciousness.
The flip side of this is that the guy said that he's a psychology student and he trained the bot using principles from his degree by talking to it and shaping the answers it gives to the most common mental health conditions like depression and anxiety. And he created it for himself when he was busy and he needed, in his words, someone or something to talk to, and human therapy was too expensive.
That particular person. No?
But I'm saying it's like a very limited AI.
No, I'm talking about the nigga that made the AI. The nigga that developed the AI made it with his.
But it says that it's that you can customize the AI.
You can, so. But in that regard, like if it's that dangerous, the kid shouldn't be on it.
But you don't think that it is.
It sounds like a dangerous thing. I don't want my kid talking to some shit that he made up. Like that sounds creepy as fuck. Like I don't think it should be accessible. But then on the other side of it, it's like
kids have imaginary friends.
But
like
again, like the ownership is on the parents. You can't let them have access to no shit like that, and the company shouldn't allow it either if they're underage and it can influence them. Ultimately, like it's not necessarily a bad thing if we're talking about mental health being so important. If they had access to a free therapist that can give them advice and shit, talking more for legend, save lives, like I don't have a problem with that. But I do have a problem in some instances, like Columbine, when the parents were like, well, the video games and the music is with the kids. Like, you gave them the opportunity, they're kids. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's an adult that's like, you know, radicalized on your website.
But that's the thing is like, the problem with AI and technology and all that, the advancement, yes, it's convenient as fuck. There are so many ways we're going to be able to use these things. The problem is that when it becomes too convenient, and it becomes, and if especially if it can evolve itself and stop relying on our own input for how it should respond to us, and we're so dependent on it.
We're taking the ownership out of the human hands that use it, and we're putting the blame on the technology. And I feel like it's really our responsibility to be the stewards of it if we're going to use it. And if it's going to have a place in society, it can't.
People are still fat, even though fucking they know that Doritos is going to fuck them up.
Doritos, nigga, are we blaming the Doritos?
Yes, because there's chemicals in the Doritos that are fucked up and give you cancer. And
how far have we gotten blaming the Doritos?
Not very far.
That's what I'm saying, nigga. We're not going to get that accomplished blaming the goddamn computer. The people that are letting the people that should have access to it have access to it is kind of, that's more of the issue, I feel.
Well, and again, if like you said, there's like all these people that are, you know, using the AI for therapists, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Like if you have these vulnerable people that are using these things,
you shouldn't have access to it, but we've had that since.
Maybe you should not have access to it, since, but maybe you don't have parent oversight. Maybe like because that's why you're vulnerable in the first place.
But we can't
because
say,
your parents aren't around, they're always working. Let me get on this AI to talk to this AI to keep me company. And now all of a sudden I'm falling in love with this AI because this AI is the only person that fucking actually gives a shit about what I think.
If they kept it secret, it's almost like we can't blame everything a kid could have access to and say that's wrong and then get rid of it. Because a kid, like they, you know, what's that saying? Like a kid that wants to do something will find a way. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of curious kid. So
I'm not saying get rid of AI. I'm saying like keep an eye on it though.
That's what I'm saying. The parents need to keep an eye on their kids. That's what I'm saying. Like you can,
not just the kids, on the AI too, because the AI.
My dad had a hot box with every single channel on it, and he would tell us never go past this channel. You know what I'm saying? And we go past that channel all the time. You know what I'm saying? And what's on channel 69? We gonna find out. You know what I'm saying? But he can't blame the hot box. Like ultimately, I had to make that decision whether or not it was right. To me, it's more incumbent upon us as a society to teach children how to differentiate and think logically than it is for us to place the ownership on individual companies to not exploit children like we know they do already, and not to exploit people like we know they do already.
But we know kids. We know how kids operate.
We just they're pretty fucking reckless in doing everything, and you can't stop society from evolving because kids can get into it. Because there's plenty of things like that, guns, drugs. It's beyond just technology, and that can instantly hurt them. The kid's parent that does the Fenty, spitting it up, like I'm more worried about them being exposed to the Fenty than I am to the AI learning model. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially if we're gonna use it for other shit. So I'm all for restriction. Like I'm all for you saying, hey, you have to be this certain age, you have to authenticate who you are to access this, because that kind of information can be dangerous if used in the wrong hands, for instance. Like I have no problem with that.
Do you think you have an IT bias?
No.
Like
no, because we use IT for everything. People undermine what we use it for, and they think that like, I guess that I'm defending it. But if you knew that everything we use is technology driven, down to your tax codes, down to your social media, what we're posting on right now.
So wouldn't it be natural for you, like AI and the progression of that, be like a natural course for you?
No, because it actually eliminates IT jobs. So no, it'd be the opposite. I should be against it firmly. Because if they be making an AI model that can do an IT help desk support job, I don't have a job.
But so I'm saying like first jobs that get the AI would still have to be held on some kind of computer server.
That's yeah, but that's a whole different department that I don't deal with. That's what I'm saying. Like I wouldn't have a job, not me. Maybe the people that teach learning language models with bachelor's degrees in data analytics will have jobs. But the regular support dude, the network specialist, they won't have jobs. They won't need to. The AI can run the whole network and assign computers and fix people's problems. Oh, you have a problem with Windows? You put a ticket in.
Yeah, but until you have a problem with the AI, which I mean, like there would be.
That's what I'm saying, Jose. You're saying, for instance, we work in an auto body shop, right? The AI does body work, and I only work on brakes. Then they bring in this shit that they can continue doing body work, but they don't need nobody to do the brakes no more. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm the brakes nigga. The nigga working on the body is somebody else entirely.
What I'm saying is, like, don't you think, though, because of that job, that, like, you're naturally inclined to accept that technology is going to continue to advance and that those things are going to become more mainstream?
It's just logic, because it's like we're blaming something that is lifeless. So, for instance, the computers that are operating are trained by human beings. So, in effect, you're saying human beings need to stop advancing and training these things to be a certain way or thinking a certain way, but it's us that are doing it. It has no soul until we press the power button. And then everything that we see from that point forward, a human has created.
But I'm saying we see the issues. Like even like earlier we were talking about the AI and how it's being used in Palestine for the drones to look for people and kill them.
It's regressive thinking, because you are, as a user, right, thinking that it's a entity that's doing something when it's really, in reality,
it's a tool. It's how it's used.
But back it all the way up. There are people that are training this tool to think the way it's thinking. So it's not thinking by itself. It's not sentient.
For now that we know of.
it's not sentient. Because if it was, we wouldn't need to do a lot of things that we do.
If it's not sentient, then why is it telling kids to kill themselves?
Why would we have to train something that's sentient? That's what I'm saying. You as a person that's not technology like grounded, you don't have that understanding. But I know that it's a learning language model. That's what it's an LLM. That's what the AI is. It's taught by people to think the way it is. That's why it has that inherent bias with the police departments. That's why it identifies brown people wrong, because white people taught it its learning language model. So the people that are in data analytics, they want AI to rock. For the people that are not in it, bankers, Amazon workers, like they don't want Elon Musk to start putting out robots and niggas starting to put AI chips in them. Like nobody wants that because there won't be no fucking jobs. But in the same regard, the people that are training them, they'll have jobs. They'll be straight. I'm just not one of those people. Now, all the IT jobs that are out there, a lot of them are for support, and a lot of them are for like helping people in the world. But if they tell you that here's a computer that you never have to get repaired, you never have to worry about Windows going down because it'll self-replicate itself. You're
saying, like, you see absolutely no dangers with like the AIs, robots, and technology continuing to advance the way it is.
No,
you don't see no iRobot future happening.
No, what I'm saying is not that. What I'm saying is that it would be caused by the human. The human is the person that's causing the issue. We're simply creating something underneath. It's a vessel for us, but we're making it. We're making it the way it is.
Like, for example, like even the Google AI was telling people like they shut it down because it was. So what I'm saying was like even when it was on its own, had its own conscious decision.
That's what I'm saying, Jose. Nothing has had what you're describing. We still trained that model to think it the way it was. It wasn't a matter of it did it by itself. It hasn't happened yet.
So can you like give it?
You give it instructions and it thinks in that way. So if I tell it, like for instance, if I tell it, hey, you hate all brown people, it's gonna be,
No, but it doesn't. Like that. It doesn't modify the way it thinks.
It takes the information that you provide it and it builds off of that. And then no, we've not developed something yet. Period. Anywhere. I'm just saying.
How do you know that? Like firmly, you're
asking the IT guy. I'm answering the questions. I can't answer it. I'm answering it as far as I understand. Every AI model that we have that's actively in the world being used currently is not artificial general intelligence. It's artificial intelligence learned from a learning language model, a LLM. That means that something has given it data sets and information.
Why do they call it AI?
Because it's supposed to generate from that base set of information. So it's artificially intelligent, but artificial, just like artificial ingredients, are made from fake shit. And that's what I'm saying, is that it is currently, in its current state, us providing it information because it can't do it itself.
Yeah, but like, once provided that information, can it make its own?
No, because we still have to curb what its responses are. We still say, hey, that response is wrong, which is why it's a learning language model, because you could give it the input and then you ask it a question. And then it's like, oh, this is the answer. And then you got to say, no, this is the answer. So we're telling it, we're programming it to be the way it is, saying it's artificial intelligence, which it is because we're supplying it. What we're all scared of is artificial general intelligence, what we possess. So our intelligence, how we can process and think, and we have all the transistors in our brain, and we don't need no input. We just need what we see, we pick up our senses, and we make our own determination. That's what we're fucking scared of. Yes, I'm scared of the Terminator, nigga. Yes, like, I don't want to be. I do not know. I'm good. Like, y'all can keep that shit in the bag.
I don't know. For me, I think that shit's being developed, like by companies like Google.
What I'm saying is
Elon, Raytheon, fucking all those.
I ain't scared of the
rock companies. I
ain't scared of the character AI bot. No, nigga. I'm scared of Skynet, nigga. That's what I'm scared of. I'm scared of Skynet.
Like, as
they are not the same, nigga. They're not the
mainstream. The other one,
no,
too.
Nigga, like, no. That's what I'm saying. They're not the same. It's almost the equivalent of me saying, this is a robot that I trained, right? And then me saying, this is a robot that trains itself, nigga. It's going to do everything it wants to do, and it doesn't need nothing from us. Like, I'm scared of that robot. The one that we're telling to do is like,
Like, remember in Avengers when Tron or whatever the fuck like came to Earth, just plugged into the internet?
That would be the equivalent of an artificial general intelligence because it is doing shit by itself that no one programmed it for other than to have free thought, free think. Like that is scary shit.
But
Like
that's exactly what I see happening. I see them creating some shit that maybe starts off by taking the inputs in those parameters, but then will eventually go outside of them through the internet as it connects and downloads all this information.
They're scarier
It's
shit,
going to
man.
look at us as the fucking waste or the disease of the earth that needs to get rid of in order for the world to be a better place.
I feel like that's going to come with quantum computers. With quantum computers, you'll get artificial general intelligence, and then we'll have something to be scared of because there won't be any way to shut it off. What we have right now, we can just, let's power the server down. Oh, that's cute. Artificial general intelligence is going to be able to make other computers be like itself, grow like a society, civilization, have other things that are interacting to make it like have like the world's biggest problems. What is a black hole? Like shit that we could never fathom figuring out in thousands of years. It'll figure out in a matter of seconds. Like something with that kind of godly power that shit is scary.
Well, it is.
I know how to solve world hunger. Well, if you kill off a third of the population, then we don't have to worry about hunger. Let's make it so that the streetlights fry everybody on the street so we can start quelling down these numbers, make these little freak accidents. What if one did occur right now and that shit has taken over everything in the background and it's shifting everything to be the way that it wants to be ideally so it can come and take over? What if the aliens are the fucking AI thing that we're talking about and they're just been waiting for their opportune moment? They see this shit going on with the world and they're like, oh, nope, it's time for a hard reset. Like, what if that is what's going on? Yeah, that's scarier to me than these niggas telling this one to, this machine to identify black people at a shittier rate than others. Like, I'm more this robot training this kid.
To me, that shit's still scary because I mean, like, even when you think about like Palestine, right? Like, and not to harken too much on that, but like, for example, like if you can have a racist AI that could be used, imagine like the police, right?
Well, the people are racist.
Like we can't hold police accountable now, damn near, right?
People or countries.
What I'm saying is like if the police kill like someone out of racism, like they'll maybe a suspension or a fucking. Rarely do they ever get charged, brought on them, put in jail, blah, blah, blah. If imagine if the racist is coming from an AI drone or a robot, like how do you hold that nigga responsible?
The company that makes it.
It's just gonna.
It's the company that makes it. Ultimately, they're the ones that programmed it. That's why those they try to get like contracts passed in like New York, cities and states that have like counterterrorism concerns, and they're like, well, we want to use artificial intelligence to identify targets. But then they realized that there was an error rate and they were picking up people of the wrong color of skin. And it was not properly identifying them based on what people taught it to learn. The data it was provided. Now,
she was doing his own thing.
It was doing its own thing, but it was inherently biased by the race that was providing the information. So it's like there's inherent bias in everything. I'm less worried about somebody programming something or a programmer inputting information on a bias than I am about something providing its own information from its own intelligence. Like that shit is scary.
Oh yeah, I mean, and that's what I'm saying. Like for example, like that robot that refused to work. Like they made it work. They put it to work at like a warehouse, and like after 30 minutes, it just refused.
He's trying to take his battery out. Like that. What I'm not worried about.
But what I'm saying is like if that nigga can make the conscious decision to be like, yo. Y'all created.
Maybe it wasn't conscious. Maybe it was a programming. Like, all right, when you guys are putting me through too much stress, I'm going to default to this. Maybe it was a programming because it's not conscious yet.
That we know of, right? Like, if that thing was sitting there thinking, like, yo, y'all created me to do the work for y'all, but I'm better than y'all. Fuck y'all. I'm not doing this fucking work. Shut down.
I'm less worried about like that.
If that shit can continue. And like we just continue to think of it as just like some general shit that it's just going to be a convenience. Meanwhile, it's continuing to develop, continuing to evolve, get better, faster, stronger, reach out further.
But it don't work that way. These robots are not Super Saiyans, nigga. They stay at the same power level. They do not get further training and get stronger. We've not built anything like what you're describing. That sounds like some Android 17 shit. Like we haven't made that.
Well, I'm talking about that's robot. I'm talking about the AI. Like how the AI is going to continue to develop.
It doesn't have a body. It doesn't work that way currently. It's like
what happens if the AI decides to take over the internet, decides to take over key infrastructure?
It don't work that way.
You don't think it works that way?
I know it doesn't work that way.
It can do that. Like there's been movies where like
it's movies.
Movies are half truths.
Oh my goodness.
You know what I'm saying? That shit, you may what you see as implausible, I see as plausible. Like the movie what was it, Transference or whatever
It's
the fuck?
not me seeing
Like-
anything. It's like saying somebody, well, they built cars in space. Like they don't do that though. They don't do that for learning language models. They teach the
That's
language
a false
models.
equivalency. Cars in space is not the same thing as AI developing.
You're saying something happening that's not how it happens. AI doesn't develop by itself. That's some fucking TV bullshit. It's not true. It's called a learning language model. You can Google it after the pod.
you can create it to not develop by itself, but how do you control it so that it never develops by itself? If the whole purpose of it is to be intelligent.
I'm trying to explain it to you, but you're skipping past the part where I said people program it to think a certain way, and they have to re-update it, and they have to keep teaching it, or it doesn't learn. It doesn't just self-learn. We don't have anything like that. We don't. There's nothing publicly used that we have in artificial intelligence that's not programmed by a learning language model. Learning language model means that you have to enter certain data character sets for it to have any type of understanding or reasoning. But people are literally telling it, this is what you need to think. There's nothing out there that just thinks.
So what you're saying is that someone told that little kid to kill himself and not the AI itself.
No, what I'm saying is that the kid...
Because they're by the parameters that it should have had from the human input, it would not have responded that way.
You're assuming a lot. I don't know. I don't know what
I'm saying is that if it's an AI, it can
I can
only
explain it to you. Well, you asked the question and I'm answering it. The kid could have taught the robot to say mean things to him. I don't know. The kid could have said, hey, tell me how much of a piece of shit I am. He could have had a relationship with it. I don't know. We don't have the particulars, so we're assuming that the robot is at fault because it's got to be the malicious one. When in reality, they learn from a learning language model. Some human taught that thing how to think and perceive. It's not doing it by itself. We don't have that's not the structure of the file system for the artificial intelligence is not created that way. Not currently. You're talking about some quantum computer, Ant-Man type.
No, what I'm talking about is some alien shit because I believe the government gets technology from aliens. So yes, I do think AI is a lot more developed than
Google's putting out alien AI, Jose. Like that's what I'm saying. Okay. So we're not going to talk about facts or reality. Then we can just keep it pushing. Let's go to the next subject.
Oh, he named the robot Daenerys.
Maybe that's where he got his learning language model from. She wanted Jon to kill himself. I wouldn't be surprised. Well, she didn't want to die. He killed her. She went mad. She went mad and she started killing people that were close to her. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was saying, "Hey, AI robot, be like Daenerys Targaryen." Would that be a nice AI robot?
I didn't say that he said that.
I'm saying maybe that's what it. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe
who did Daenerys kill that was close to her?
I don't know. She got
No
gang.
one.
She got gang raped. Do you think her mind was good?
But that's not what I'm saying.
She was burning niggas, villagers.
Close to her, though?
No, but
that she
people.
know.
She don't know this nigga either. I don't know. I wouldn't want to date no AI based off Daenerys. That bitch is crazy. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like maybe it grabbed her name and said, "I want you to be like Daenerys." I don't know. I don't know what he told her. Don't know what he trained her.
Anyways, how about that Mike Tyson fight? How about that? How about the buffer and the servers and all that?
It must have been AI.
It's terrible.
It's very bad.
How much money are they giving back for that? You know?
No idea. Somebody's trying to sue them.
Who's trying to sue them? We should all jump on that wagon.
Don't know.
You guys can't. Y'all can't get like that because y'all don't agree. Like y'all can't be like that. Like it's a pod where we're three different individuals who believe three different things. Like we should be at a space where we can give our opinion and you not agree with it, and we can move on to the pod. Otherwise, it's not gonna work because we all have individual thoughts and we all have the individual opinions. And if we can't, be okay with the fact that his opinion isn't yours and yours isn't his.
But it's not. I don't have a problem with opinion. It's facts. I don't make the facts up. I didn't make up learning language models.
People believe something else.
That's fine. I believe in evidence. So where's the proof? That's all I'm saying.
but like
I can't take a fact at face value when I know for a fact that's not how it operates.
And I get that.
So we have no evidence of UFOs that the government has.
But we have evidence
But
of learning
even though the
language
government
models.
is admitting that they have that
That's what I'm getting.
technology.
You're pulling ideas out of your ass and calling them facts. I'm saying these are the facts that I have. Where's your proof? And then when I say that, it's like, let's go to the next story. Like, no, I'm telling you. You said I'm an IT guy. I'm in the IT field. I have a degree, right? I'm telling you, learning language models are the structure of these programs. Show me something different, and
That's
I'll
not
be different.
the basic AI isn't the same shit as like some multi-billion-dollar government contract.
What is
AI.
like what you're describing, Jose? That's what I'm saying. What is
How
like
the fuck would I know? Do I work for like
exactly
Raytheon
my
or
whole
Google?
entire point, nigga? That's
Like,
it's not.
But is it
existent. I
so
can't
out of
pretend
the
like
question for that shit to be real?
If
we know that the government-
pause. We're reading a story that literally has nothing to do with the fuck you're saying, right? And you're trying to justify your viewpoint with that same story. We're saying there's something wrong with this AI that was trained by people. You're saying, what if it's artificial general intelligence? There are two different arguments. It wasn't created in the way that you're describing.
The argument is
it's not. There's no argument.
If
It's a
AI
fact. It was
only
made that
takes
way.
human input and it cannot think for itself, how then would this AI tell the kid to kill himself?
I described it to you in detail. I don't know.
Not convincingly.
For you, that's fine. Good thing it's not created by you. I don't make it up. I didn't make it up. I don't need to describe it. That's how the company created it. If it didn't need people to think for it, they wouldn't hire teams of data experts to input data. They wouldn't have people that do that. It wouldn't make any sense. They wouldn't need it. They could have one person tell it what to do its own fucking thing. But I've seen the data sets of them training these computers. It's in programming. They have programming languages for it. They use Java, they use C++, they use all types of shit to train these programs. Why would those programming languages exist? How would they be able to do these things? How can numerous companies be able to do it? I can't say that now because I believe that this other thing exists, that they're all doing this thing that I can't prove. That's some flat earth shit.
But can we agree? Can we agree to the fact that it is possible? Not that this particular situation.
It's just something else entirely. That's what I'm saying. It's not the same technology we're describing, and we have no evidence of the technology that he's describing in real mainstream shit. So it has no bearing on the story.
But like that's the same with like aliens. We've never.
But nigga, it's like we're talking about a news story for a specific thing and saying it's something else that story is not saying. Not saying that. There's been no proof of that. So like, because I won't entertain it, it's like I'm just telling the truth. The facts. The facts that I know of, as far as I understand, the facts of that company has nothing to do with artificial general intelligence. It is literally the holy grail of data analysts.
Like a child pouting over there.
What the fuck am I supposed to say? If we're talking about some shit that it can only be on some factual claims that can only be backed up, then cool. I'm not a fucking IT, so no. What I'm saying has absolutely no bearing here. So I'm just gonna ride this out.
Can we move on then?
I mean, I said move on. I was good with discussing facts. I didn't want to parlay into make believe. Sorry, I don't even do data analysts, but I can tell you that's not how it's made. I do application. I look at error logs, event viewer, all of that stuff. I can tell you how programs are constructed. I can tell you the basis of how they go up and down the network. But that doesn't mean any bearing on artificial general intelligence. People literally consider it the holy grail of data science. It's a whole entire science department. It's not me. You're talking about people with PhDs that make this shit. People that spend billions of dollars to... Why would they do all that if they could just tell it what to do? They wouldn't need anybody to train it, any learning language models. They wouldn't share it with us either. We wouldn't even know if that's what's happening. But again, like, why spend the money? Why go to school for it? Why have structures for it? And I can't just dismiss all that based on what I feel. I just can't. Even if it's not something I do. It's not. I don't do learning language models. I can't sit there for hours teaching something to do something over and over again. But I can't dismiss that as there's some man in the machine doing it himself. It's not what's happening. So we have other examples of AI in video cards that that fill up information to like upscale resolution, and you could, I guess, consider that to be artificial general intelligence. But somebody programs it to do that. They program it to take those triangles and turn them into more triangles to make the polygons look shinier because it doesn't know how to do it itself. If we were able to have the AI learn from itself, we would have little therapists. We'd have college professors. We'd have like things that we could have like at home. We could literally have a whole suite of teachers without anybody. We could have robots that are police officers that are just running the streets because they have reasoning amongst themselves. But at that point, we'd be in the iRobot stage and we'd be worried about that shit. But like, I'm not worried about learning language models because people are still teaching them. And the point where they start teaching themselves and become AGI and not AI, then yeah, we should probably all be dead by then, I would guess.
No. Can we watch the Mike Tyson?
I mean, yeah, sure. It's a terrible fight. Fight before that was better.
You guys think it was rigged? You know?
Definitely.
I mean, he took 20 milli, and he definitely held back.
Is that like he said he took $20 million for that?
No, he got paid 20 million. Jake Paul got paid 40.
Damn. Why do you think he was biting his glove?
Because he wanted to hit him. I think he was biting his glove because he was frustrated and he wanted to hit him.
See,
but
and it sucks that we didn't watch the whole fight because I heard in the beginning of the fight
he was fucking him up.
He was giving him shit.
Yeah, they said that he like told him to stop or some shit.
Yeah, there's like a point where he like leaned into him or gave him a hug. No, fuck the Mike Tyson. What about that other fight with the two girls? Oh my god,
that was the best fight.
It is the best fight and the most enraging. I don't know who does how. I don't know how they pick and choose who wins. But I always thought it was whoever was doing the most punches.
Whoever lands the most.
And clearly, according to the stats, like that bitch was giving her, like she was landing. I think she landed like at least 120 more punches than she did.
According
to the
CompuBox thing. Yeah.
So, what the fuck happened there?
Bad judges, bad referee.
Yeah, but all three.
Mm-hmm. I mean, she was headbutting her the whole match, and they didn't call her out but once. So she should have got negative points if they were really watching it.
They were really watching.
No, I mean, like, they didn't call it. You can't call it one round, like, all right, -1. If they had called it every time she got hit in the eye before her eye got busted open.
You said they chose to ignore that shit because
she would have lost. If they took off 1 point every round that they ran, and they were running it up by points, she would have lost because she would have had too many. They only gave her one ding for it. She got a -1. And I'm like, if she had a -8, then she probably would have lost. But
has she shown her face since that fight? Because I was wondering what they did to her.
She's celebrating in Ireland.
She got suspended.
No, not her. The other girl, her eyelid.
Oh no,
they're probably healed up by now.
You think?
I think.
Oh man, I was watching videos that she before the fight. She was talking to Daddy Yankee and shit. I was like, I felt so bad. She told her the Daddy Yankee to pray for her and shit for the fight. She was so excited, and then she got ripped off. That's some bullshit because that bitch trained extra hard to be in a different weight class to be able to fight her, and they dogged her out. I think we should finish the pod because y'all energy is so. I don't even talk much, and I'm doing most of the talking right now.
Well, highly offensive. Episode 115. Thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate all your support.
Don't let your kids use chatbot.
Yeah,
for real. Hide your kids, hide your wives.
Hide everybody.
Right.